Afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. We are Religious Nerd Squad, and here at Religious Nerd Squad, we believe that you can be Christian and a nerd, and that's a-okay. I am your host, Raz Khan, and with me, as always, is the lovely.
Chelsea Bunny. I'm your chaotic bunny. Have fun and antics. And also we have
I am Diva, Night Rose Goldsmith, resident vampire expert and resident anime fanatic. And with us is our charming and elegant Templar.
Servant of God 777, and also resident pale Minnesotan, because good Lord knows somehow I only get part of a tan if I spend most of my day outdoors. But that's 2/3 the state. Oh no, wait, that's 1/3 the state anyway. Anyway, we've promised some spice, and it's been a bit. We have first idiots on the list. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the goofballs known as Little Light Studios. I'd also call them morons, but that implies a lack of knowing what they're doing.
Yes, and this is.
Go ahead.
This has been a target Diva and I had our eyes on for a long time before we made RNS. And I want to say, offhand, we might use a little spicier language than we used to on these podcasts.
We'll try to keep it PG-13, like no massive F-bombs or anything. But don't be surprised if even I potentially slip up, because in watching their main part 1, because there's technically 4 parts, but only parts 1, 3, and 4 aren't paywalled. Hint, hint. And notice something there. I couldn't even finish part 1 in a day. It's 50 minutes. I was pausing to rant and rave at them because I first figured they're this stupid. And then suddenly, partway after well into the last part of it, like last 20 minutes or less, I had one of those moments of rage-filled epiphany of, they're deliberately lying. Blatantly.
And they have a history of lying. They have a history of lying. A YouTuber by the name of Raven Knight actually exposed them and caught them with their proverbial pants down with a lie where they were trying to besmirch the good name of J.R.R. Tolkien, the professor, and C.S. Lewis, renowned apologists, claiming that they were part of the cult of the Golden Dawn, when that cult had long been dissolved long before either of them were born. And when Raven Knight called them out on it, surprisingly, that little tidbit got scrubbed from their video. What is that one commandment again, servant?
Number 9, thou shalt not bear false witness. Gee, it's like they don't realize how bad they look. It's one thing.
I thought it was thou shall not lie or something. I don't know.
Same thing. Bearing false witness in a court case is lying under oath. It's perjury. It's blatantly gonna get you in trouble. So for this bit, we're only doing a Sailor Moon part. Otherwise, we'll be here all week. They have 2 shorts on their channel. We're gonna go with this basic one because it kind of emphasizes how obvious they are. By the way, yes, that's not one of them that I know of. That is just a rando green screen react guy they have there. And if you can see this, you can tell he looks like he's horrified. This is blatant manipulation. If you pay attention, you'll notice they have a theme of that.
And
he's dressed funny.
Oh, that too.
That he does, but just for the sake of our audience, we are going to emphasize that we are not only Christian, we're also Sailor Moon fans. Every single one of us has watched it.
Yep.
And I own some of the DVDs.
90s, so not only did we watch the original 90s anime, we also watched Crystal series, and unfortunately I have yet to fully watch Eternal, but I definitely know that it follows the manga, which, oh, by the way, I own.
Yeah.
And you also watch Stars, Sailor Moon Stars?
That was the season that never aired from the 90s, but is on Yield DVD and Blu-ray. I will say, as a fan, going in, do not expect high quality. Do not.
Also, I'm about to say, you guys watched that. I was working.
Right.
Anyway, let's get
Okay,
this.
let's riff off the bad-aid.
Yeah, we're going to start this. Here we
There
go.
are a ton of questionable messages and occult references that are very problematic for any Christian. I'm talking about magic, sorcery, spells, and reincarnation, and even underage drinking.
Okay. I'm
first
gonna
off-
point out something on this. She's undercover in that party, and she did it on accident. Let me back that up a little bit. Right about. Notice how that's her drink, but she's not trying to go for the one with the obvious cherry in it, and she's not looking. And in context in the scene, she's got nerves and is trying to just drink her favorite sweet drink because Usagi's notorious for having a sweet tooth.
And
Also, not
actually, in that episode, they were invited to this party by a man that only spoke English. Of course, in the dub, they replaced it with French, but that was back in the 90s. But they were invited to this party, and Usagi is terrible with English. So terrible, in fact, that she actually has a translation book in hand, and she is so nervous with talking with all these people who only speak English that she's trying to reach for her drink, just as servant said, but is grabbing the wrong drink. And notice, this was an accident. The show was not promoting underage drinking.
Also, if you're going to use that as an example, maybe don't be from the States where literally how many shows nowadays have people underage drinking?
Yes. By the way, let's
It's
look
not
at the.
underage drinking. It's just
Well, let's look at this. Oh, it's from
Still.
2020. They made this short. Gee, I
Wow,
wonder.
2020.
Like how many things in the States, even things that supposedly were good for Christians to watch, had that in them? How many things? Gee, I wonder. Like, if you want to rail, one, pick your targets correctly. Two, get your facts straight. And three, no lying. By the way, notice we've been ranting about this. We've only gotten like 11 something seconds in to a near 1 minute short. We're gonna be here a bit.
Oh,
I
by
got
the
more
way,
on the magic stuff, but I'm waiting until we get to the video.
Yeah.
well, also, here's something to ask when you're dealing with quote-unquote magic. Is the text that you're reading teaching you how to use it? Is the text teaching you to use it to divine things that you should not be touching? Is it telling you to use crystals or the like in their text and telling you to use it to commune with outside forces that you have no business making contact with? If the answer is no, then this isn't sorcery, this is just fantasy.
Well, like, the only reason Harry Potter kind of falls into that category of sorcery is because people have found that some of the spells are actual spells, and some of the descriptions people have, like, some people actually use these as grimoires to curse people. The Harry Potter books. I wish that was a joke. And it's at the point where, in my own knowledge of these things, I'm inclined to believe some people are doing it legitimately and being attempting to be successful. I don't know how much they're actually pulling off. At that point, it's like, I don't take chances anyway. If that's how your habit to reading Harry Potter is, you try to use it to cast spells, I'm officially like, yeah, you don't need to have anyone in your family with that book in your house, because clearly somebody needs to get their head on straight and read the Bible more.
At least
I mean,
give credit to my...
They're probably having bad fun. That's not really a good term. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, at least give credit to my grandmother. At least she only read them to me as a child because she thought it was just harmless fun. She wasn't involved in the occult, and she was one of the most devout Christian ladies I've ever met. And just a note, this is the woman who would actually crochet while watching Game of Thrones and not batting an eye over the blood and guts and saucier scenes.
Yep. All right, let's continue this before we keep tangenting, because there's more nonsense.
Underage drinking of alcohol.
Wow, it reminds me of when the book of Revelation describes God's people having a seal on their foreheads and the wicked having a mark of the beast in their foreheads.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
He's on.
So,
I'm sorry, I just had an aneurysm out of sheer stupidity.
shall I read that? I have a King James right here. I should just probably read that right out of Revelation of the section of the mark. Let me just pull that.
Also, notice that those symbols are actually not quote unquote satanic. Those are actually planetary symbols that are used in both alchemy and in the sciences. Those are the symbols of the planets that the Sailor Guardians are named after.
You
Yeah,
leave them in the middle school. No, in elementary school, learn.
Yeah, and also for context, reminder: they are the reincarnations of ancient interplanetary royalty, and with those powers, that implies that those are technically in their universe royal seals, not pagan marks. Dear Lord, there is such lack of context. Where the heck is that thing? I keep missing where it is.
Not just that, the mark would be more like, say, from the Omen than what's going on here.
Yeah, no,
Wouldn't the mark just be an upside down triangle? Star?
Here we go. Like Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, in reference to the beast, he's in the second beast, and when it rises up to basically the second beast, is sometimes referred to as the second beast system, rising up in the vein of the first. There's a lot tangent I could go on that. We don't have time. And he causeth, and again, King James Version, so it's going to sound Shakespearean, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond or bound, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Note the phrasing doesn't say on, one, so again, get your scripture right. And two, it also refers to it being on their right hand, known under old school, like Old Testament and other traditions, as being the hand of power, or the hand of righteousness, depending on the context you're looking at. Because yes, even in Old Testament, right hand is the hand of power. I refer you to Isaiah 45, Cyrus prophecy, where that's mentioned that God holds Cyrus's right hand. But
what the left hand power is
technically
not related, but yeah.
No, left hand is referred to as that. Left-handed was seen often as a bad mark, partly because of scripture like that and old traditions like that. Even through like more recent years, up to like maybe the 1800s, I think. Even it has not been that long gone when you see the context of things. But no, it's like, and in 17 it mentions that no man may buy or sell, say that they have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Effectively sounding less to me like something that's just a simple, like, glowy tattoo that comes up when you're doing a transformation to power up or something, or using powers you have. That is not the same dang thing. Dear Lord, even Smallville did this better. In that case, Clark had to use X-ray vision to see the Omega symbol on everyone's skulls.
Then the kryptonite thing.
I mean, that's a completely different side of it, but you're not entirely wrong there, Chelsea. Let's keep going, because, again, we'll be here all week if we don't.
Also, like the opening of the third eye in Eastern and New Age religions.
Oh, good Lord. We
didn't
even...
What do you think is going to happen?
It's almost as if Sailor Moon's a Japanese series.
Gee, it's like it takes homage from that. It's like that's where the tradition is rooted. If you think automatically is turbo satanic, which is effectively what this implies, this entire setup, you guys need a nice straitjacket and maybe at least one bonk on the head to get the stupid out of you, and some sense knocked back in, because Lord knows you need it.
There's a ton of demonic possession in this show.
Notice? Am I in trouble? Yes?
No, you're not. I'm giving you permission to use a bat.
Yay, use a bat.
Go, do a crime.
Okay, for legal reasons, this is a joke. For legal reasons, this is a joke. Quit calling the cops, you guys. I know some of you already hit 9.
Trust me.
All right, let's keep going.
That there are 5 sailor girls, each named after different planets.
Well, they're correct about that, I guess.
Only kind of. The original 5.
They're leaving out some one teensy weensy, ever so crucial little tiny detail. There is 9 of them and more.
There are 9 for the solar system.
Just a note. Look at the footage they're using. They're showing the outer guardians, not the inners. They're literally just shooting their argument right in the foot.
Oh, here, let me shoot it more. This is not the Sailor Guardians. These are the Amazonians from the Dark Circus.
They're different.
Servant, no. Those are Kaori Knight's subordinates, the Deathbusters.
Oh, that's even...
They are the Deathbusters.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You know, the bad guy minions from when they introduced the Outers and Sailor Saturn. Specifically being a big tie into that. I'm not spoiling anymore. Go watch. There's better stuff than this. Let's go back to that.
Different planets.
Yeah, they go
The number 5 in the Wiccan religion represents the 5.
Ooh, look at that colors as that.
It literally... Okay, so 5 is a pretty powerful number in not just Wiccan. It's powerful in everything.
Remember, most Wiccan stuff is ripped off of Christianity in a very dumb attempt. 5 is the biblical number of God's grace, if you forgot that. And note they don't like to mention stuff like that because it could destroy part of their narrative. Because a lot of it is very blatantly poorly done, and it's reactionary clickbait content. And I mean very. There's a reason why with YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a reason why
I want to reiterate this isn't like Western. This isn't like Western magic with the CK. They're not pulling from Wicca.
No, and also only counting the 5 inner scouts. Let's see if I can break some of this up. The 5 aren't fully reunited until, well, technically united in the first season until well past the halfway point. There is no Sailor Scout of Earth. Technically, that is Mamoru / Edamon / Tuxedo Mask / Tuxedo Common, who is the one who holds the Golden Crystal. Sailor Moon is the only other Sailor Senshi that would count in that, which is one of the other bits of nonsense. Because, good lord, these people couldn't get their facts straight. And also, I know a good bit about stuff like the 5-point Wiccan nonsense. It refers, as they say, to 5 elements. Mind you,
Wind, fire, and things.
Earth, wind, fire, air, and then the 5th one is, this is where you get the confusion. It's either spirit, soul, or ether, however you want to pronounce it, which is technically counted in some more higher science circles as like certain energy that is possible to harness. That's a completely different tangent. I'll go for that some other time in the future because that would take a month. Or at least a month of prep. I ain't going to put everything through it while I ramble. But dear Lord, this is one of the more complicated versions of it.
Points of the pentagram.
Hey, speaking of Wicca, these magical girls are even called guardians.
Oh, gee, it's
to do with
protectors of the planets that they're from, and also the protectors of Earth from extraterrestrial evil forces.
And the entire solar system at that. Guardian is literally a term used in multiple places, including, if I remember correctly, a good bit of scripture. There's
also the task of, divine angels from the divine.
Yeah, like guardian angels are a thing.
Sorry, I made a redundant statement, but...
Yeah, no. Guardian angels are a thing, and even some people have said God has assigned to them the, quote, royal guard, which oddly enough makes sense given Jesus admits to having 12 legions of angels at his beck and call, which in that kind of context would amount to a high amount of royal guard.
Yeah, not just that, like, Here's the thing. There's a baseball team in Cleveland called the Guardians. You gotta go call them Wiccans just because of that name?
I think they'd
I
all
wouldn't be
grab
surprised
bats.
if they did call them that.
I think they'd all grab bats and baseballs and they'd just start setting them up to be pummeled on if they tried. Let's see what else.
Uniting our hearts to fight as one is what makes us Sailor Guardians.
Okay,
That's
here's
what
where I need to
they
point out
said.
some blatant manipulation if you haven't noticed. A good chunk of this footage in the first bit was from the 90s anime show. This recent stuff is
from
from Crystal. The remake that is based more on the manga. One thing you'll notice in this and in other stuff they talk about, because
Is the art style?
no, they ignore that. They ignore that for context. They ignore other bits of context. It is a recurring habit. They're not just disingenuous and bearing false witness. They're doing it in such a twisted way that I will caution anyone watching their videos, if you do not do it alone. Do not have alcohol nearby. I say that because you will be tempted to drink. I have never wanted to drink ever in my life. And then I watched this, and at one point, my thought was, I wish I drank. I wish I had booze. I actually want to be drunk. Part of me knows I shouldn't be, but part of me wants to be drunk. When your video meant to warn people is driving a Christian who's been sober his entire life to consider getting drunk. And I don't just mean kind of buzzed, I mean blackout. Say what?
Just like get very angry that you destroy property in your house, like punch a wall or
just so upset and frustrated I was almost driven to drink. And I live
Also,
walking distance from alcohol.
And
Also,
just,
he doesn't do that. He just breaks things in games.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm gonna sound choppy in this recording.
We all will. Don't worry about it.
It'll be
believe
good.
me, I actually was almost tempted to break out my aunt's elderflower just now.
Elderflower?
It's a type of cordial. It's non-alcoholic, but it's the closest thing I'll ever get to alcohol.
Yeah.
It
Which
starts out
is
sweet.
Wiccan lingo.
Mm-hmm.
It starts out sweet at first, but then it gets more sour the more you drink.
Let's keep going. We got.
Yeah, let's keep going. We're almost there.
We're almost done.
Which is Wiccan lingo for the watchtowers that correspond to the four directions and the four elements.
The four directions is a deliberate. You mean the four winds of the earth that have angels guarding, keeping their direction going? I mean, mentioned in Revelation again. Gee, it's like you barely read your Bible.
Wait a minute. The first.
One of those.
I want to talk too, please.
Go for
Never
it.
get a thing in. But the first thing, the panel thing, that's a fan animation. It's not from the 90s or for the Crystal.
No, it's not. This is not actually.
When the watchtowers
It's
You lying little. PG-13, PG-13.
Let me put it this in a PG-13 way. These are lying pieces of outright excrement to such a degree that it smells toxic enough that it will burn your nostrils, burn the nose hairs out of your nostrils, and put you in the ER. And require a biohazard disposal crew and about a quarantine for everyone around it for about a month.
Good eye there. Good eye there.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks. I just was looking at it really closely. I'm like, wait, I've never seen this one. This looks like fan animation. It is fan animation.
This is indeed a fan animation.
Especially given that when I looked at the tiara for a minute there, that looks more like the symbol of the Earth. No Sailor Guardian has that.
There is no Sailor Earth. There have been fanfics that had a Sailor Earth. I don't think they...
And there would be Molly as Sailor Earth.
Actually, I think that one matches one that will probably be a little telling. It's not a perfect match, but the red hair kind of gives me the hint. The one I read was in a Stargate SG-1 crossover. So you've literally ripped off something that was probably made for a fanfic little complimentary video clip. Congratulations, you have hit peak failure, and we've not even attacked the video proper.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yes.
Let's continue. We're almost
4
halfway
elements.
ripping
When
off
the
the Band-Aid.
watchtowers are invoked, it symbolizes the connection to all things that exist. The fifth element being spirit. This
I have never even heard of
Goku
Watch.
and not Sailor Moon.
They
AI.
literally did those animations for their little DVD cover.
Oh, okay.
I've seen the thing, and let me
I
put
know
it
what
this.
you're talking about too.
Yeah, let me put it this way: it's not worth the price of admission. Since that's basically the end, I'm not keeping playing for like 2 seconds. Let's just go into the meat.
I could do a better drawing than that, and I suck at drawing. I'm just saying.
Yes. Oh, by the way, the blatant choice of Sailor Moon bit is one that has the tethered and the torn bit on the side, and deliberately shows off the cleavage in a way I don't even think most of the animes, even Crystal, did. This is deliberately chosen. Now let me back this up.
Yeah,
Hello, I'm
dang,
Scotty.
they really need fan service in Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were somebody that got amorous over the transformation sequences, you need to see a doctor because you clearly have something wrong with you. It's not the fault of the show, it's you.
Either A, you need a doctor, or B, someone needs to call the FBI.
Or go touch grass.
I mean, probably that too. My only caveat is if you're a teenager and you're aroused, congratulations, you've had what many call your sexual awakening. Now, don't go nuts. Because as a Christian, I'm going to advise you, as you don't let it consume you, even though you probably will fall short a lot. Lot.
Anyway, let's get these smug individuals out of our face first.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Scotty.
And I'm Mikey.
And we're some of the producers of this anime documentary, and we wanted to share with you a warning with this project.
Notice how...
Let's literally what the warning they're saying first.
I will say this. Notice that the music has that ominous hum that you see a lot of suspense stuff already manipulating you.
Yeah, over the years, this is the most recommended topic we've got. Everybody wants us to expose anime, so we started doing some digging, and man, the stuff is dark.
So if you don't really have...
Pause. Doing some digging, more like doing the bare minimum and then filling in the gaps because you're too incompetent.
This feels like when Paul Verhoeven had someone read Starship Troopers, the novel, to him, and then summarized the entire thing in a short amount of blurb.
Again, I got a little thing ready for when they get to the magic part on this video.
Mm-hmm. Like, at least Paul can be forgiven for that because he admitted to not having time and much interest in sci-fi writing, even though he was doing sci-fi movies a lot at the time. Well, that and fantasy, because he did Xena Warrior Princess, the TV show. He did a lot of music for that. I wish I was kidding. He's known as one of the guys who did that.
Good show.
Very good show. These guys are already trying to lay it on thick enough because, holy crap, I would never equate Paul to them. Their production's already sus, given all of it. But the big thing you know on this is they're deliberately trying to frame it like, hey, this is dark, man. You need to trust us, bro. Trust us. Which, by the way, yes, that's a theme. A lot of what you see in this is trust us, bro moments. So let's begin. Let's continue.
Have a problem or you've never been exposed to anime, this might be a project that you should prayerfully consider whether or not you should or should not watch it. But if you know somebody that...
Well, let me save everyone the trouble. Unless you intend to rip this a new one for jokes, or you need to point out blatantly bad research and manipulation tactics, don't bother. You have better uses for your time. Literally reading your Bible more than they did. Which is probably less than I do, and I admit to falling short than reading it every day like I probably should. I fall short And I admit to that. I'm not certain these guys would ever admit to anything like that. Let's go. Because we're, again, wasting too much time.
That's really into this topic, then please share our video with them, as we feel like this is a very important topic to explore.
Yes, so you have been warned. With that said, enjoy the show.
Blatantly loaded warning also. Doing an outro like that is deliberate. Ugh.
And it'll be, well, good news. I won't be enjoying it.
Yes.
Sausage.
Revelation 18. Okay, no. I already have to break it back out. Let me get it up. They put Revelation chapter there, so I officially have to just do the thing. 23.
Apologies, Chelsea. Whenever they pull up scripture, we have to pull out the Bible to actually point out not only the context, but also the fact that they're actually abusing scriptures and taking them out of context to push a narrative. Does that sound familiar? A certain Christ was in the desert when somebody kept whispering twisted up scriptures in his ear, trying to tempt him.
Oh, worse, this is where they get their name. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations sustained. They put a verse that snitches on them.
They're just like rappers.
Worse. Okay, let me explain in simple terms, Chelsea. They call themselves Little Light Studios, and like they shine a little light candle into the darkness type bit. The problem of using that bit is blatantly saying they're not on the good guy side, that they're literally the ones on the bad guy side. That's how it reads to me.
Watching them in the first place.
Yeah, we're basically
prove them they're wrong.
Oh yeah. Again, stupidity.
Or hubris.
Yeah, that too.
The logo looks like an owl if you look far away, but it's not.
It's meant to be an old reel camera, but I see what you mean. Also, I don't mind it. It's actually one of the few good things. Here's this logo. This is very nice. It's very nice. That's it. I'll give them that. Very nice, very well done logo. I just wish everything else was good. Oh, I keep hitting full screen for some reason.
Oh.
Okay, I'm just use keyboard now. Ugh. By the way, notice the thumb and the thump music. This is deliberately meant to make whoever hears it be on edge and mess with them. Make note of this. This type of music is prevalent throughout everything they seem to do with this stuff.
Yu-Gi-Oh is an example of why anime is evil.
Yu-Gi-Oh
is set in Egypt.
Also, we're going to use the time Yugi literally let the dang card corrupt him, and he had to learn that wasn't a good thing. We're going to use that.
Gee, it's like it's actually a Christian message in there, despite having an Egyptian setting in like deliberate magic. Like, there's a one thing of Yu-Gi-Oh has more sense to be used for Christian teachings than these documentaries. But yeah. Oh, good Lord! Look at that bull crap. Okay, for those not aware of the cheap editing, that wasn't behind Kagome when she was doing that in the anime. That's edited in. This is deliberate. Yeah. By the way, one part of what they do involves Inuyasha.
Did they ever gone over to the Hellsing? Like, well, never mind. We'll just go with Sailor Moon.
No, they do not. If they did Hellsing, it would be so low-hanging fruit because of...
You know what's funny? Someone in their comments section actually mentioned, "Oh God, what if they ever watch Hellsing?" And lo and behold, The guy's like, I used to watch that show until I was awakened.
Right here. This used to be my favorite anime in the early 2000s.
Okay, bold. And
there's
and for
no
those who don't
need for
know-
us to find out about anything. We purposely only discuss the most mainstream anime. We
So
are
you're
well,
posers.
yeah, we are well aware they only get darker the less mainstream they are. I was a huge fan. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what this one is.
I think that might be Kurositsuji. Black Butler.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you know what?
Also, yeah, they clearly show they were just tourists, considering, yeah, the niche stuff, that's when it gets really dark.
Uh-huh.
God forbid they come across Trinity Blood or Blood Plus, because then I will be baring my fangs as if I already am not doing that enough already.
Legend of the Overfiend.
Let's overthink.
You know, that's
Let's
kind of
get
a
back in
telling.
hand.
Yeah, let's
We're
get
rolling
back
off
to
the
this
rails.
nonsense. Yeah. Oh, good lord! Look at all this.
Oh my god, you're actually taking a scene where they're cheering on for Hercule Satan from Dragon Ball Z.
And he took that name after his master due to him having died to honor him, despite that also being a moment of trauma for him. Yes, that's canon.
Oh, and by the
Yeah,
way, the
that's
reason
the
why
name.
Hercule is given that last name is because Akira Toriyama does this thing with the naming, does this thing in his works, naming conventions, and everybody involved in Hercule's side of the family is named after devils in English.
Yes.
And
Which
that's
is
the thing,
why
too, it's like-
Pan is named Pan, but that's a completely different tangent. Because we're only doing the Sailor Moon bits, because if we did, we'd be here all week.
Not to
When we get
they do the same thing with the Saiyans. They're named after vegetables. They do the same thing with the
Bulma's
Namekians.
family is named after underwear, including our kids with Vegeta, because remember, Trunks. That's all I gotta say.
Her daughter's named Bra.
Mm-hmm. And Gohan's daughter is named Pan because demon.
Frying. I thought it was frying pan.
No, actually.
Well, not to mention,
that is a good guess.
And also, pan is in the Spanish word for bread because, well, Gohan.
Gohan. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Just for just a quick note for the uneducated, Gohan is Japanese for white rice, aka a starch.
Yeah.
What is bread? A starch.
Mm-hmm.
What is bread? Wheat.
I mean, technically,
Gluten-free.
flour ground from either wheat or rice or something along those lines as starch usually. Let's keep going through the stupidity of this opening. Because at this point, I'm probably going to skip if we have to keep this up.
This is all you have to skip.
Okay, hold on. Oh, thank God, it's almost past. Is it just make-believe?
Yes.
Or is there something they want to make you believe? Yes, I'm mocking it while playing it just for anyone wondering, because these people have not earned any good credentials with any of us. There is...
Also, good, nice idea of Nephrite using a Yoma to possess Nehru when she was not even aware she was possessed.
Right, I remember that episode.
Yeah.
Man, it was so sad.
Yeah, like, that was one of the crazier moments of the entirety of the 90s show.
Oh.
There's so much... Oh yeah, there's so much silliness in all this. Oh, by the way, just so anyone's wondering, Full Metal Alchemist in Evangelion is behind the paywall. So if you want to know what the heck they say about that, you either have to hunt down on a pirated copy, find someone who has a copy of the digital or DVD or Blu-ray, or pay. God have mercy if you actually want to do that, because I don't think these people deserve money. But that's me.
Yana is gonna throw a hissy fit as soon as he finds out that fundamentalists are taking Full Metal Alchemist out of context to push a fear message narrative.
Ironically, he's done that before. But if Vic ever finds out these guys exist, he's probably gonna have the most chill way of talking them down as a Christian that I've ever seen. Because I've seen his initial takedown of fundamentalists at a convention to the point where he looks more like Jesus and they look like the Pharisees.
Oh yes. Fun fact: he did not know that he was being. Fun fact: he did not know that he was being filmed at the time.
No, he did not.
Words straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, she's actually met him in person and can confirm that. So yeah, let's keep going. I'm almost done with the intro. Also, the people doing the sound design, you morons need to go back to editing school and stop doing this dunk stuff. It's headache-inducing.
It's not really headache-inducing when you have people raging at it.
Voice does not help my ears.
Yeah, open my eyes. No, thank you. I'd rather not watch.
Is that anime
but I have
in the
to.
kids section?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? There's a ton of it on Netflix now.
I know, it's time to do a project on it. Mikey and I went to a local convention.
Skip on this part, maybe? Unless if it's important.
No, sadly, this is important a bit. It's just they're very blatantly manipulating things, so be ready for this.
Called Kanuga, and I was shocked at how many people are into it.
Yeah, it's crazy just how many people have been asking us to cover it.
I remember watching.
I have to give a sin here. Terrible animation quality. 10 right off the bat.
Yeah, I agree. And it's gonna get worse because I think the first person, I mean, that's when we get the I'm not gonna spoil it for our audience, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
Oh, it gets more awful. Let's keep going.
Watching some as a kid, now I realize how much of that stuff was going completely over my mind. There's so many reasons why I question it now.
I didn't watch anime, but I read some of the manga comics.
I know a few things about some of the mainstream ones.
It's shocking how much spiritual imagery is used in these shows and movies.
How was it shocking?
They stupid, babe. So it's shocking.
Like, I'll put it this way, like, I'm not going to go on a huge tangent, I swear, but even with something like Gundam, which is more realistic war anime, there's still a spirituality to it.
Yeah.
Not to mention, one of the most kindest portrayals of Christians in anime is Trinity Blood.
Yes.
It actually showcases Catholic priests going through struggles, going through moments where others need their help. Actually showcasing such thing called humanity to them.
Yeah, one of the ones being the most human being the post-apocalyptic vampire that eats other vampires who's hundreds of years old. Yeah, spoilers for an ancient anime, my apologies, but yes, that is better Christian media than this stuff. Let's keep going.
Movies.
Anime has an undeniable influence over pop culture.
Honestly, some of it is so strange. It's hard to even grasp how something like this can gain so much popularity.
Do you
know?
I could go on an hour-long tangent on that idiot comment alone. I'll sum it up this way. How could it gain popularity? Looks at the Hollywood in the West and elsewhere. Looks at the BBC over in Great Britain and elsewhere. Gee, I wonder why.
It's almost as if that there's actually legitimate storytelling instead of message-based preaching.
Yes.
Not just that. Not just that. It's literally an umbrella term where you can find anything under that umbrella.
Yeah. Here's my other point. One of the cringiest episodes of the serials of classic Doctor Who, one of the most cringy and bad ones that even leftists will admit, was a message-beating one where they tried to just basically beat the whole hate Margaret Thatcher message into people's heads. Granted, it worked back then, but it's also regarded as one of the weakest and dumbest serials of the classic Who. So when they're pulling this,
know where it all started? In 1963, a little black and white cartoon called Astro Boy premiered in Japan. Within 8 months.
Yay, Astro Boy!
I
know they're talking shit about it bad, but it's good. It's good anime.
Okay, how accurate was that they said?
Well, the thing is, Rintaro was was pretty much the genius behind a lot of classic anime at the time. But the thing is, he was inspired from this one certain Western company and how he created the designs. A certain Walt Disney.
Yes, the known anti-communist and U.S. patriot who, if he saw current Disney, he would be rolling in his grave and would basically denounce it, which could possibly easily tank the stock price off a cliff. Badly. Like, worse than they have now, and that stock's already kind of bad. Let's keep going.
NBC began showing the English version in the US. The creator Tezuka was very influenced by Western culture, and his father believed that Japan's future prosperity lay in partnership with the US, and raised his son on American imagery.
That's 80s Astro Boy.
Yeah, again, they'd love to misconstrue different versions of the same animes.
Okay.
I'm just making the point because you pointed that out. You were very good eye on that, Shells.
I'm good at detail of things that make everyone's like,
Which is
different anime.
Which is partly why you're here.
We're all good, though. We haven't gotten too huffy.
Yeah. But dear Lord. The whole bit of he raised him on imagery. Yeah, gee, it's like partnering with a prosperous nation at the time was a good idea. And also, yeah, they're the ones who had God backing them when they bombed Pearl Harbor, and we just made them have 2 new sunrises for a few days.
Oh, yes. And not to mention, this was back during the time when the U.S. was actually occupying Japan.
Yes. So I wonder why he thought that. I wonder why his dad thought that and raised him like that or something. It's like context matters here. Anyone else have anything, or should I just hit play?
Hit play. I can think of stuff later.
There's constantly Westerners appearing as peaceful scientist collaborators.
Returned from the United States. The new minister will meet the press for the first time.
Okay, that's the English dub. The fun thing is, English dubs back then were heavily westernized, even in the 80s. So they're going to be very biased in certain bits because that happened a lot. And a lot of lines got rewritten when people were speaking on screens because the languages didn't match the lip flaps.
That's the future he imagined. From the
Not to mention is that even to this day, there's actually a hard time trying to match the script with the flip-flaps.
There's a reason why the sub versus dub argument in anime in other Japanese media tends to be going on. Although not just Japanese in many cases, but let's go.
Very beginning, he designed these cartoons to be exported, which is why we see so many Americans in the cartoon. Many other anime series were loved after that, such as Gigantor and Speed Racer.
Yay, Speed Racer!
Speed Racer's a case of one where the animation budget was actually, wasn't that based on a different anime?
It's Matcha Go-Go in Japan.
Yeah. Which is kind of similar to other stuff that happened in anime, like, say, how Robotech is technically repackaged Macross. Yeah, which, again, note how they're being very, very bare bones with what they're revealing and shows they did barely any research. I could get more out of a Google search without the AI enabled.
And they talk fast, too, because they're good budget constraints.
And Speed Racer...
Yeah, like you know how they really talk to this as fast. Oh
yeah, they did that a lot. Also, while I'm doing monologues with only 1 frame on the screen because the animation budget and also getting the episodes to the West was a pain in the ass. And I wish I could be PG on that. No, it was that bad at times, especially in the 80s and 90s in some cases before like Toonami and whatnot hit. Let's keep going.
Okay.
It keeps hitting full screen.
In the 1990s, anime blew up in American pop culture.
I'll give kudos for that edit. Very nice timing on the explosions.
Yeah.
Speed Racer? Never heard that one.
Speed Racer, never heard that one. I call bull!
I call Purus.
Just a my old man who did not like anime at all even knew Speed Racer, even grew up watching Speed Racer, not realizing he was watching an anime.
It's like watching Pokemon, not knowing it's an anime.
I mean, some people did that.
Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels.
Wait, will this song get copyrighted?
Be fine.
Money, so it probably doesn't matter.
We're not monetized. I don't care. Let me put it this way: we don't own it. And again, if you guys want to claim it, this is the channel right here. Go. They have a check mark and everything. They're nice and bit. And yes, video is monetized. That's your money. Go to these guys and claim them.
Oh, better to hit that dislike.
Declared.
Better to hit that dislike button just now, just to be on the safe side, just to showcase our displeasure.
No, I'm not going to, because current YouTube at the time of this recording means if I don't engage, the view doesn't count.
Oh, good to know.
Yes, the most I've engaged is the comment section, and I don't even know if that counted anything. But beyond that, no. Anytime I watch this stuff from now on, if I have to, I'm not going to do any engagement if I can help it, because I don't want to give them the view. This is literally a case of, we're doing this so you don't have to, and we're not going to give them any real credit for the view anyway, because this current algorithm lets us be that petty. Moving on.
It's crazy how fast anime gained popularity in the US. In 2002, Boston was one of the first cities to hold a convention, and they only expected 500 attendees, but 2,000 showed up.
Gee, it's like that's a thing with most conventions back in the late 90s, early 2000s, especially in 2002. Gee, Chelsea Diva, why would that be a thing back then, that they would have a massive over attendance to a convention in 2002?
For profit and money?
No, it's like in Boston, which is near, say, it's in Massachusetts, but it's near, say, New York.
Oh, it's almost like a country was healing from something. Huh?
Yeah, like
healing
we need
from explosion.
And not to mention, if you even so much as hinted that you were an anime fan, you were ostracized back in the day. It's almost as if people went to those conventions because they could actually be themselves without public scrutiny.
Yeah,
it's like buy stuff online without waiting for shipping.
Or just buy stuff in person.
Even growing up, like from the early 2000s in middle school to like 2010s in high school, I got a lot of crap for being like an anime fan, Transformers fan, stuff like that.
I got less crap, but that's mostly because I could play off how to be cool about it, and at the same time, I was known as a big old gushing, exaggerative goofball even in middle school. And
I was not matching it, and then I don't get in trouble.
And I also grew up when Power Rangers first really kicked off and got big. And so a lot of guys my age and a lot of others were just at the right age when, say, Sailor Moon and others hit, that when we realized what anime was, we didn't mind. In fact, half the favorite bets were no longer dressed as a cheerleader because the skirts were too long. No, if you lost the bet, you dressed as one of the Sailor Scouts, and if you really lost the bet, you dressed as Usagi and you had to get the wig with the full ponytail. If you know what I mean, those aren't short. That is longer than she is tall hair.
Today, Los Angeles hosts the annual Anime Expo with 100,000 plus attending.
Gee, it's like people like to show what they're capable of. I see great skill with cosplay right there, because I could barely tell that was that, except for, oh yeah, there's his neck right there. That's about the only thing visible. Cosplays can include fully functional gear and powered servo Iron Man metal armor. And I don't mean appearing metal, I mean solid steel. And titanium in some cases, with working motors in the arms, legs, and entire joint system.
Like a spring lock suit.
Not exactly, but more sophisticated. Like if they had certain other things in them, it could legitimately do all the strength enhancing Tony's suit in the movies can do. Just no repulsors yet. Like the minute someone figures out that or anti-grav, full-blown Iron Man suits are going to be a thing at cons. Just watch.
Okay.
I remember in 2003, Disney's Spirited Away won an Academy Award.
Disney Spirited Away. Who wants to rant that?
There's a Hayao Miyazaki.
There's
Ghibli.
yes, Miyazaki. Disney just had the distributing rights. They didn't own it though.
There, behold, disingenuous lies. Studio Ghibli weeps for 2 seconds, and then they remember these people don't matter. But yeah, notice the scenes they're framing with that of Spirited Away.
It's almost as if that's the scene where Chihiro realizes that she's in the spirit world.
Yeah, like it's meant to be a big reveal or something. I wonder.
For Best
Almost
Animated Feature. In the last 2 decades, imported anime series such as Pokemon, Sailor Moon.
They're
By the
literally
way-
all imported.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Imported anime, the only first ever actual local anime technically that you could claim that isn't even really claimed that much would be Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Not?
Maybe also Ruby. But beyond that, there has never been an anime truly made in the US because those two are still technically heavily debated. Ruby, because it's mainly made with CGI in its original bits, and even though they're remaking it, I don't know how much anime it'll be. And Avatar: The Last Airbender, because it aired on Nickelodeon. And it was technically, despite the Eastern themes, a Western animation. And yes, even though there's plenty of fans in Japan, they will still call it that. Again, context is king.
Not to mention, I still remember when my mother used to get me old videotapes of Sailor Moon. Although we didn't have to rely on the tapes from the store because my mother would actually tape the TV show for me and I would watch it after school. Back when you could actually own physical media, the very things that you like.
Yeah. Nowadays you
Back
got...
in the day,
Nowadays, you have streaming services, and you have to pay every single penny out of your pocket to get at least 3 of them just to get all the exclusives.
Correction.
And who
you have
knows
to
if
pay
they'll
to
keep it on the platform or not.
Yeah, correction. You have to pay to get them legally. That does not mean people will not pull piracy. Not that we endorse that in any capacity, because partly legal reasons and partly moral reasons. That doesn't stop people from doing piracy. Because again, piracy is always this is a point where a complete egomaniac has a good point. Stephen Thohol of Pirate Software said it best. Piracy is a service issue. It is always a service issue when it comes to your products. If they can't get it, they will pirate it. If it's too expensive, they will pirate it. If they cannot easily you find it, they will pirate it. It's like... This is where I like to quote Field of Dreams' favorite little echoey message. If you build it, they will come. If you put it on the shelves, they will buy it. Anyway, enough of that tangent.
Gosh.
And Dragon Ball Z developed huge US audiences.
Tons of movies have robbed their ideas from animes.
Oh my god, you're not making that bloody argument that The Matrix ripped off Ghost in the Shell.
They are legitimately.
Did you guys ever see The Matrix?
Hold up, pause. I just gotta get that out of my system.
What?
The argument that so-and-so ripped off so-and-so is so stupid. I'll tell you what my mythology teacher told me. Everything you see nowadays, even stuff from the past, is inspired by other things. There's barely been an original idea. Even in Shakespeare's time, he took inspiration.
Oh, here, let me give you an even older one. The Spartan Battle of 300 that they made the movie out of, you want to know what actually inspired them to do that despite the fact they all died? Gideon's 300. Because they saw 300 guys at night posing like their entire huge armies, because of how they were set up, and all lived and conquered a whole bunch of land, and they decided to try and do it their own way and got wiped off the map by the Persians. Mind you, only the 300 army did, and there's a whole lot of bits. That's a whole other historical bit. There's never been a fully original idea. Again, to quote scripture, there is nothing new under the sun.
Right. Just had to get that out of my system. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, for this argument, I actually had to do a school paper on it for college, nonetheless, explaining why The Matrix was not a ripoff of Ghost in the Shell or Akira.
Gee, it's like it's
Akira.
Akira, both are valid pronunciations. But no, it's like this is a very known trope that is easily disproven. Let's continue on it as stupid.
Nope. What'd I miss?
Well, you didn't miss much. It pretty much went downhill after the first one.
Oh, wait. There's more than one?
Yeah.
I see.
Okay, I'll give credit where it's due. Bashing the other two Matrix movies is a known trope among those who watched the first one. They're not that bad, especially in hindsight of the fourth. They are...
movies.
They are movies. Like, if you want to have a decent plot or a nice Jesus reference, watch all three. You don't need all three for that. But, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but it drew heavily from the style of manga and even released its own animated series called the
Eyeballs.
Okay.
Animatrix? No. That's
Okay.
right.
I have the DVD of this thing. The Animatrix, aside from the one CGI thing at the beginning, is all fan-submitted animes. None of them are tied coherently. It's not meant to be a series. It was a one-and-done DVD.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. Yes. Go for it.
I also had to do a report on the Animatrix. Oh, and fun fact, one of the animators for one of the directors for the Animatrix, where they're actually in a samurai simulation, that was actually made by the same man behind Vampire Hunter D: Bloodlust.
Mm-hmm. I will point this out. They said this, that despite the fact these were done by fans, every one of those stories is technically canon, but it is not a series. It is at best a single DVD with a bunch of OVAs in one.
Mm-hmm.
It is effectively a short story compilation. If this were part of a proper series, it wouldn't even be 1/3 of one season. Moving on.
Matrix. Everyone thought The Matrix was so original, but it pretty much was a direct ripoff of
Context is king, and they're ignoring so much context with these scenes. If you're looking, you notice it.
Anime called Ghost in the Shell.
And Ghost in the Shell was made into a movie.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, we'll talk about that movie. You just mentioned it,
There is
and
no war
everybody
in
getting
Boston.
mad.
Say.
That movie
There's
wasn't
no
the
war?
best, and even even the people, even I think Scarlett and others don't like to talk about it because they realize, much as I think she liked playing the Major, that was very bad.
Well, apparently the Hollywood executives decided that a story about an AI forming an attachment to a human to a woman trapped inside the shell of a machine wasn't enough. They decided to make it a revenge story.
Because, of course. Also, the blatant anime section from Kill Bill. You mean part 1, the bit about Oren Ishii, who was Japanese? Yeah, this is part of her entire backstory of why she became an assassin, which is very gory and bloody because it's Tarantino.
Chinese, Japanese, and American.
Oh, yeah, that too.
So you Chinese or Japanese?
Played by Lucy Liu, Oren Ishii is technically a Chinese, Japanese, American brat. Grew up on an army base until a certain Japanese Yakuza guy kills their family in probably one of the most gory ways possible. She grows up getting revenge, gets it, and eventually winds up working for the same people that the bride, aka Beatrix Kiddo, does. It's a whole long story there, but yeah, this is a case of blatantly mentioning it for manipulation purposes. While being a, quote, anime style, this is still technically part of a Western live-action movie.
Had an
Not to
entire anime scene.
Not to mention, I have to add, Oren Ishii is inspired from the Japanese revenge figure, Lady Snowblood.
Which explains the snow fight at the end of her section of the movie.
Exactly.
Illustrating a character's backstory in the first Kill Bill movie.
You guys ever watched?
Context matters.
Context matters. Important.
Sadly, they don't care about context. It seems they want to push a message. I wonder what else.
There's a guy's shirt. It's just Jesus. It's the eyes, not you.
No, it's an inverted color U where it's supposed to be red. That's why it also looks weird.
Oh, now I see it. Never mind.
Yeah, all I see is it makes him look more sus. Not about Jesus.
The Lion King? Did you know that was also a direct ripoff of the Japanese animation entitled Kimba the White Lion?
Who wants this one? Because even I know this blatantly is bull crap. For multiple reasons, in fact. Because I can go off if you guys want.
Let's save it, servant. Let's save it for another day. Let's focus on their Sailor Moon segment.
Actually, we've had enough of this nonsense. Y'all get the point. They blatantly do this, so let's skip ahead to when they finally start talking about anime people at the convention.
This is what I said.
I love anime.
I love it. I mean, I can't watch enough of it.
So describe love like you watch it every week.
Every day.
Oh wow.
Oh gee, if they're passionate.
That is a
passionate normal.
By the way, that is a bait question in a bait clip. It is designed to make it look like they are knowingly idolatrizing anime. Here's the thing, even if they watch it every day, one, that doesn't imply that's all they do. Two, it doesn't imply that they see it as like their god or anything, or even to give it the bulk of their time. And also, three, the phrasing tell me they asked another question before that and they cut it out to deliberately make a point. I want the
I'll put myself an example here, and I'll put myself under the bus. Like, you guys know me. I'm a huge sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for fall to come in so I can spend my Sundays just getting my fantasy football team ready, watching the Vikings play. But have I ever striked you as anyone who sees them as gods?
No. Nor is anything to be worshipped or idolatrized. You and I are from the same state. We are Vikings fans. We do not. For obvious reasons, we don't. That's all I gotta say. And if you don't know, look at their winning streak.
They're doing a good job.
This could be our year, right?
Right? Yeah, that's us. Okay. But yeah. Alright, anyone else have anything, or should I just hit play?
Well, something I add, that's actually the tactic of twisted reality TV shows. Outside church, you're supposed to be Christian. You're supposed to be leading by better example.
Yeah, completely failing on multiple counts, and we're not even done to the bulk of their stupidity. Let's keep going.
Even more telling was the age that they were first introduced to it.
So, like, what was your first anime you watched?
Naruto.
Yeah, let's hear from you.
Wolf's Rain. Anyone?
Wolf's Rain and Naruto, right around the same time they were coming out. The only difference, Wolf's Rain was airing on Adult Swim, which implies, I have one question when I hear stuff like that. Where were your parents?
Yeah, not just that. Like, it feels like they cut out a lot of people, too, because...
They cut out a lot of people and a lot of context from the people they talked about. Again,
yeah, because to me, it's like, I can answer that question easily. 5 years old in DBZ.
4 years old in Sailor Moon.
Let me think. When did I first
3
start?
years old in Pokemon.
When did I first start watching? Trying to think. Wasn't Pokemon. It was Speed Racer on Cartoon Network. I think it was about 9. And that was like the early mid-90s I first saw it. Probably earlier than that, but yeah.
And notice how all of us, we all had an age-appropriate answer.
Yes. Like, the minute you start saying Wolf's Rain, notice that they cut right to her gushing about it, and they haven't included the... Ray Comfort is better at doing his stuff than this. He'll include him usually asking a question, or them starting their answer. Sometimes both in the same video bit when he does shows like his street evangelizing and whatnot. This is a deliberately manipulative clip that I expect from CNN or MSNBC, not a Christian anything.
Single one out there.
So how old were you when you got into it?
Oh, very young. My father was really into Dragon Ball, and he had like a bunch of VHS tapes, and I actually still have the whole Frieza saga on VHS.
So how long?
Gee, it's like she probably watched him with her dad, and I bet they cut that out to point out, an actual wholesome interaction of a parent being a parent, which implies she was watching Wolfrain when she was actually age appropriate to watch Wolfrain.
Exactly.
Bingo.
By the way, obvious Naruto fan.
You've been into it. About a year. Okay. Do you mind me asking you how old you are?
They are very far away from Mike, but that's intentional. So that way you can't hear them clearly.
Well, that's also
working.
Which is also why they show that's the one time they show subtitles in that case is you can barely hear the kid. Like, that's a fair bit, but notice he admits this first started watching anime when he was about 10.
It's 11.
Now, he said he's 11, but he started watching a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chelsea, these are some knives. Here's a knife. Have fun.
Okay. Yay.
Yeah, just remember to burn the evidence. Again, this is a joke for those watching.
And you have my
we
permission.
don't have any supplies like that here.
Let's keep going.
You're 11 years old. Okay. How old?
Of course, probably like 8.
Again, notice that it's a similar age range to us and everyone else in anime fandom, as you were like maybe double digits.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was on Adult Swim when I shouldn't have been up.
That's a case where I demand to know what your parents were during that time, or if there's something I need to help you with. Because either A, they were that neglectful and lazy at their job, or B, you had a reason to hide that. And to hide talking to them. Neither's a good sign. One's worse. Like, I was a night owl as a kid purely because I didn't want to ever deal with school and I found it boring.
I'll at least admit that I got into Trinity Blood when I was 14, and yes, I also was a night owl, and I did watch the show while it was live.
Yes.
Episode 10, I still remember it. Silent Noise. Part 2, Lucifer's Choice.
Yeah. But by the way, I'm trying to remember where specifically those outfits are from, those costumes, and I'm thinking it's Homestuck, but I might be mistaken.
Yeah.
Could also just be D&D stuff, given that they look like.
But like tieflings and whatnot. Yeah, like at that point, notice that they deliberately put them there, complete with the fact they have like decent teeth for the costume, to act as a framing device. Ladies, if you ever see this documentary or see our podcast on this, get a lawyer. Each of you needs a lawyer and needs to talk to them about this and whether or not you actually can get some, like, get them to, like, put a disclaimer on this or something, because good Lord, I feel sorry you got dragged into this. Let's continue.
And I watched it anyways.
Would your parents have condoned?
I mean, probably not, but here I am today.
Yeah, she was hiding it on purpose for one reason or another. Again, if she knew her parents weren't condoned, then either A, they didn't care enough to pay attention, or B, she was hiding it on purpose for some reason or another, and there's very few good ones.
covered in blue paint.
So how long have you been into anime, and like when did you first start getting into this?
My first anime was like in 5th grade. It was Attack on Titan, which was
Danton
a
Rampa.
mistake because
By the way, she admits that she shouldn't have first watched it. Meaning, let's see, 5th
It was
grade.
an accident.
Yeah.
That's around years old.
How old?
Around 10.
Again, same age, and she's mature enough to realize she really shouldn't have watched it, which says a lot more about this girl than the guys interviewing her, because she admits a 10-year-old shouldn't be watching it. She probably, as a 10-year-old, like 10, 11, because I was in 5th grade, transparency, I got held back in kindergarten because they thought I was, quote, not mature enough. AKA, I didn't like the thought of growing up too fast. But then again, that was me. So that happens occasionally. No, like a 10, 11-year-old and you're watching Attack on Titan, it's easy to see why. You got swept into oh, this sounds like it's a great anime. I want to watch it, Mommy. I want to watch it, Daddy. Or I just want to go watch it. And you do, and you regret it.
Or you have siblings and they're watching it and you just happen to walk in while they were watching it.
That too. That is a very good point.
Yeah, that's true.
There is this is not a case of something outright demonic or satanic. And like, are some of the anime actually that kind of dark? Yes. Mind you, that's a case of pray about it if you think there's a problem.
Attack on Titan is not one of those. The only thing that scared me off at first from watching/reading it was the fact that it was pretty bloody and gory, but that was the point of the story.
Which ironically
you had
is
giant monstrosities eating people alive.
Oh, on that, let me hit play real quick.
I was a 5th grader, and that the mother getting the head torn off was a little much for me.
Gee, I wonder.
Hey,
Why
at least they didn't watch Berserk by accident. That'd be a different story.
Oh, that would be a case of therapy. Therapy for days. Also, she'd probably have berserk armor.
You clip scene. Trauma.
Yeah, that scene. By the way, yes, they do actually show a good chunk of it. Go have a look-see at this nonsense. I'm gonna quickly skip that.
When are they going to talk about Sailor Moon?
They get to it.
And horror. That's
We're getting there. And just your reminder, the rating on Attack on Titan on TV is TVMA.
Which means mature audience. It's like getting a hard R movie rating. You need to be 18 years or older at the very least. Assuming it's not getting an actual M rating, which if it shows in a main theater and it gets that rating, no one under 18 or 21 gets in the door. You cannot, unless you show a valid legal ID proving you are that age, you won't be allowed to purchase at all. It's like we have restrictions for this.
Crap about Attack on Titan when it actually has an underlying Christian message. I direct your attention to Pilgrim's Pass's video about Attack on Titan. It's actually really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now
feel free to send that to me.
Yeah.
Oh, I will.
Well, let's
now
keep going. There's more.
like this. What happened to your mother?
My first anime was Attack on Titan. He's the reason that I started watching it.
This guy.
He was like, "Hey, you should totally watch this. It's on Netflix."
By the way, the laughter implies it was the sibling prank. For those not aware, one of the sibling pranks that exist is to troll or trick your siblings into watching something deliberately meant to traumatize. It does not usually include anime. It can include random video clips on the internet. If you know what ones they are, don't mention them in any comments because that's a good way to cause trauma. Save the pranks for offline activities, please. But other such things are certain movies, episodes of TV shows, yada yada.
Full Metal Alchemist.
The dog. Oops.
Oh yeah, FMA, that'll traumatize people.
Edward. All I have to do is say Edward like that, and the entire fan base, myself is included, is automatically both triggered and wanting to wood chipper. If you know, you do know why.
You'll have to take my word for it, servant, but I did the 1,000-yard stare.
No, everyone does it at least
Of course
once
you
when you
do.
encounter that scene. That it is expected. Let's keep going.
I think you like it. And from there, I started watching like Death Note, a bunch of other stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. The minute you start watching that, I hope your parents are in the room and at least there to help explain things to you. Or your brother realizes, well, I dived you in. My job as the older sibling is to guide you through hell.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, in good sibling relationships, that's the case. And this sounds like it's actually a good one because they're able to talk about it within arm's reach, and he's not glaring at his brother.
Whoa, these guys are super young to be exposed to this kind of violence.
So you're into anime. What was your first anime you ever watched?
My first anime was Heaven's Lost Property.
Did he just say?
Okay.
Okay, yes. I want to say there is a lot of fan servicey stuff in that. It's not indicative to all anime.
No,
But
and
that one is
also,
kinda-
and also the title is what they're going to harp on.
Right, and that's the thing. Like with anime, it's not like Western where basically like to them it's the mystique of the afterlife. Like this place up in the sky or this place down below. It's not really like how we would view it as Christians.
Yeah, like, and saying something like Heaven's Lost Property in a fan servicey show tends to be a case of implying that they're so beautiful that they have to have, and the answer is, oh yeah, they did. Like, they have to have come from heaven. Like the old joke, oh, did you come from heaven? Are you from heaven? Because you look like an angel. Like, is that old joke made an actual plot point? This is the kind of
like
thing
the
Japan does.
Oh yeah, like in anime and manga, I would really recommend that does it very good is Oh My Goddess.
Which, by the way, if you're wondering, that's a case where it's less outright magic and more techno magic in a sense. But that would be spoilers, and I'll let you find out. Anything else, or should I just hit play and we can get to where we're going?
Yes.
Heaven's Lost Property?
And that just kickstarted that genre, and then I branched off.
Like how old were you when you watched it?
Like 10, 11.
Seriously? Wow.
I would even say that there's tons of animes that adults shouldn't watch either.
Yeah, kind of like how some people are known gore hounds and others are very squeamish at the sight of blood. This is a case of both preference and as a Christian, because we should probably point this out since they didn't, make certain you don't watch anything that will cause you to fall back into anything you were delivered from. If you've ever been involved in witchcraft, Wicca, or anything like that, try to avoid that as much as you can, and include it in your entertainment. Same with, say, if you had certain proclivities towards children, or you were very rage-filled, etc., etc., etc. That does not mean you always have to avoid stuff like that, but that also does not mean other people should also in many cases. It's a matter of what their spiritual walk and yours leads down. Because oftentimes God will have people going down different paths to the same destination. The paths will always be narrow. Because again, narrow is the path. And long also. It's why it is known they will, that you will always wind up walking down a path that looks different to what other Christians walk down. That's what I'm trying to say. Before I go off on a tangent. Not like I didn't already.
Either.
These cyborg chicks like fall from heaven, and it's a harem anime.
Yeah, and this one is super messed up. Not only is the anime extremely inappropriate with the images that are borderline pornographic, the story is also super blasphemous.
So like,
who wants to explain what a harem anime is?
A harem is where lots of girls go on a man.
Yeah, basically one guy, multiple girls.
And
Example, Shinchi-Mu.
Tenchi Muyo was one of those anime that actually put it on the map.
Mm-hmm.
But then they also leave out the fact that there's also the reverse harem, where it's one girl, multiple guys trying to win her heart.
Yes,
Although
that one's going on.
Best example of a really good example of a reverse harem done right is Sayankoko Monogatari. That one is actually really good. Highly recommended.
Mm-hmm.
The less I say about Fushigi Yugi, the better.
Well, let me put it this way. Here's something that most forget. Technically speaking, when it comes to harem animes, Code Geass, which is not seen as primarily being that, has the themes of harem animes for Lelouch because of the sheer amount of women, young and old, that he winds up around that. Either he manipulates into doing his things, or occasionally seem to have conflicted feelings. Not all of them romantic.
Poor Shirley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Surely, yeah. And again,
poor
that's
girl.
another tangent for crazy on just the emotional damage of that anime.
Yeah.
Let's keep finishing the interview.
The protagonist has a bunch of cyborg chicks that can literally perform any task.
Interesting.
And he's into panties.
Don't think that's how it works.
I feel like he's leaving out context in the interview, and he's trying to bare bones it.
Yes.
Like, I think at some bit he's also baiting these guys because he recognizes the questions. Because I can tell he's trying to school his answers in a certain way, but it's clear he's not trying to school them to cover anything. He's just baiting these guys.
Yeah.
Also, again, reminder for anyone, most anime fans are high-grade trolls.
I love things with designs on them. I'm starting to get sick and tired of this foolishness. Sure, you got it.
So they're like...
Yeah, that sounds more like goofball behavior than actual perversion.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's what anime sees it as.
We speed up through this interview because it's just the same points over and over again.
Yeah.
Let's get to the meat of the argument, which is Sailor Moon.
Yeah, we're gonna... Oh, dear Lord. There's a lot when we get to... Because they didn't cover... Oh, wait, here we go. I think we're almost...
Oh,
there.
seriously?
The whole
Einzel, Gown, and Goblin Slayer.
The older anime were very targeted towards adults, and now they're trying to target more towards children too. So, yeah.
So how old were you when you saw the first anime? What was it?
I was approximately 8 years old when I watched Pokemon for the first time, and then I just gradually started with Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor, Sakura, all.
By the way,
That's a guy in there.
Yeah, for context of those anime, Cardcaptor Sakura was also on Saturday morning cartoons, as was Pokemon, Digimon, and among others.
Sonic X.
That too. That is also technically an anime, and people like to forget that. And as
That's how
to...
it goes. That's how it goes. There's one geared towards kids, and then you move on to the other stuff.
Also, Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z, which, by the way, yes, part 2 of this scene is blatantly going after DBZ and being dumb about it. Well, part 2 of this video, is that. But those were on the same weekday block of Toonami when they were both airing on Cartoon Network.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
That's how I saw it. It got me so excited as a kid, coming home to see the newest episode.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And waking up to see Inuyasha ending too with the music is good.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I don't like Inuyasha these days, because it's like, I don't really... Like, it was okay, but it's not something that ever grips me as I got older. The music was always very good.
Yes.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue.
All those.
It's wild that these kids get hooked because of Sailor Moon.
Note that they're talking of what could be easily grown adults in cosplay. And they're referring to them as kids.
What are you saying?
Ah.
You could be
When
doing
it's full
something
of
better.
extremely inappropriate and overly sexualized content. I'd say it's not suitable for any audience, let alone children.
Notice the framing and the scenes they choose without putting context to them. Again, the blatant manipulation.
Hold a toy gun at her head.
Yeah.
Sailor Mars slapping Usagi to get her to snap out of her funk.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's literally
actually
their dynamic.
Yeah, like Usagi, I think in that particular scene was in another depressive panic mode where she goes, "Woe is me," and Sailor Maz's Ray's usual response is smack her friend upside the head and tell her to get over herself because she's that kind of friend who does that.
It may seem cute
Yeah, she
and
does that a lot in
colorful,
the
but its
series.
main protagonists, which, by the way, are supposed to be 14-year-olds.
Who wants that bit?
Yes, they are 14. Semi-14? The age it says. God, it's going to sound bad on the replay shit.
Okay, pop
okay.
quiz. How old was Spider-Man when he started out?
About 16. Actually,
14,
how?
17?
Yeah,
yeah,
So he's
teenager.
close to Sailor Moon's age when he started out.
Gee, I wonder if that's a pattern with kids getting powers.
Yep.
Oh, young Dunny Phantom, who is just 14 when his parents built a very strange machine. It was designed to view a world unseen. He's gonna catch them all because he's Dunny Phantom.
Gee, yeah, again, it's like it's a common theme with powers is that they come to, oh wait, teenagers with attitude?
Yeah.
Again.
Or, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's like a thing.
Here's a hello.
Mm-hmm. We could keep going. That's the thing. And the worst bit is the framing of this is also meant to imply the whole thing with Mamoru being in college. In the manga, what's the actual age difference between the two?
He is pretty much a high school junior, and she's a high school freshman.
Ladies and
Yeah, so that's not really that bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, even if he did go to college, that is a Romeo and Juliet law that could be invoked in almost every U.S. state. In that, yes, it's kind of squicky. Oh wait, they met when they were in high school, and she was just a freshman and he was a junior. Okay, that's not that bad. Just wait for a few years to get married before you do any hanky panky, please. Like, that's how people would ask in the U.S. if that happened.
He was 18, she was 14.
Mm-hmm.
Although apparently there were some issues with the translation in the anime, and they made him older by accident.
Yes, that's a no. If you actually did your research, that's a known running gag. Again, clearly they didn't. And also, only, I think, to my knowledge, is Usagi and the other inner scouts that age.
Yeah, just a heads up. And I have nothing against people who like the Deke dub. Like, I know Diva says it's a guilty pleasure for her. But remember, Deke wasn't a professional dubbing company. They tried their best.
They gave it their A game, but their A game was everyone else's C game. It's sad, but it's a fact. No, the other reason I point that out is Uranus and Neptune and Pluto are basically older women. Like, Uranus and Neptune, I think, are at least in college, if not outright.
Yeah.
Yes, of course they are.
They're outright college age, I think.
They're in college, and they're also rich enough to own their own private helicopters, and they also have very rich patrons. Neptune because of the fact that she's a violinist and a painter. Uranus because she's a race car driver and a marathon runner.
And in fact, a very skilled one because she's got an insane amount of trophies to her name. So the prize money rolls in like it's not going to go out of style anytime soon. And also, Pluto is an insanity unto herself.
She's literally a physicist.
Yes.
Physicist.
She's a physicist, and she's the Sailor Senshi / Guardian of Time, who is part of herself also permanently stuck in the time gate and unable to leave. That opens up multiple cans of worms we won't go into because we'll be going forever. Point being,
going forever.
And the only youngest one of the outers is Saturn because she's a 14-year-old girl.
I think actually, is she 14 canonically?
I'm now thinking 13.
No. Here's the thing. She's around the same age as Chibiusa because and I believe in some case they go to the same school at one point.
Yeah, they did.
I must be remembering the 90s anime.
Yeah, that's kind of the
12.
thing. Yeah, 12. There is occasional mistakes, but when it comes to the three, at least of the outers, and potentially Saturn, aka Hotaru, you have no excuse for blatantly getting it that wrong, even if you only glanced at the animes and ignored the manga. At the bare minimum, you could have looked this up on Google, because again, I'm going to expand this real quick.
Why?
Premiere date, May 2nd, 2021. The shorts were released in 2020. The implication is as simple. They had over a year to do this. They probably took years making this thing. And they couldn't be arsed to do basic research. Chelsea, if you had to look that up, how long would it take you to find that on Google, do you think?
The
ages.
The ages thing.
Like, if you didn't know about how long would it take you to find a source of that on Google, do you think? Just guess.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh.
They're 14 years old, and by the end of the series, they're 16.
Just the outers, or is it just the inners, that is, or is it telling you all the scouts' ages?
The outer ones are 18. Saturn's 12. The inners, yeah, it's different kind of ages, but they're older.
Yeah,
and they're younger when they debuted, and then older when they out-debuted.
Now, my point is, how long did it take you to find that? Less than a minute, right?
I just did it right now. I just looked it up when he was talking.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the bunny is sometimes simple, but she's still better at this than they are, and they had time and a budget. We don't have a budget, and we barely have the time. Moving on.
Yeah, pretty much. Are often in compromising scenes with extreme nudity.
The transformation does not count as nudity. It's pretty colors.
They literally never show anything. They show the silhouettes covered in colors, but that's it. And that's not really anything titillating.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Canonically, the transformations don't show up to the monsters and others watching. It's just a flash of light.
Flash of light?
Last I checked, sometimes when Chibiusa transformed, it was just a blink and you'll miss it transformation.
Yes.
Right.
Because the implications of this entire sequence is they'd be exposed for a good chunk of time for anyone with a flash camera to catch. And Luna may occasionally make gaffes. There's an entire section of the fandom pointing out multiple versions of the storyline where she misses details or what she could have done better, aka hindsight. But I highly doubt the known advisor to Usagi, aka the Princess of the Moon, would have allowed that in the transformation pens, and even with half a memory, because she's scolded them occasionally for similar stupid. That would be a case if she wouldn't miss that. There is... Let's keep going.
Here in the United States, pedophilia is a big...
Notice that they're interlacing the Sailor Stars transformation with Usagi's main one, both from the Deke dub, if I'm recalling. And the Sailor Stars transformation only looks like that because their sailor outfit is literally bikinis, and they're very well endowed, because it's implied they're technically adults.
The Sailor Stars are actually grown-ass women.
Yes, so they're going to look that curvy. It's like G. It's actually not that big of a D. You'll if you're suddenly attracted and/or aroused as a biological response. How you respond to that reaction is all up to you, though.
Do I have to?
Oftentimes in magical girl genre animes, oftentimes they appear. The transformation makes them look like they're nude to wash away their old self to bring forth the magical girl self.
Also, I will say
does the same thing.
Also, I will say this to at Sirens point. Do I got to tap the Uzaki sign again?
Possibly.
No, and it's a super sensitive topic.
And they cut away to a different anime because they're more schizophrenic than we are.
Also, I feel like it's a kind of a big topic everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Again, at the time of this recording, there's talk of certain lists being outed, and other shenanigans tied to it that are. Well, let me put it this way: there's going to be a lot of people calling for the wood chipper. If you understand, you understand. I'm not going into details because of sake of this.
I figured it out. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Keep the video.
Yeah. Again, this is we're recording this in July, very late at night, but July because we've been meaning to do this.
That girl looks 7 years old.
Kawaii.
Note they're like preteens or teenagers, and even boys will occasionally be attracted to cute girls and have trouble explaining why before hormones kick on, as will little girls. It's why
also, boys. I don't know
boys.
this anime.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know this anime, but even I can tell they left context out.
Yeah. Also, it's clear that she's not endorsing it, and he's clearly just. And also, it says this art club has a problem.
Is a slice of life anime?
The implications of feel free to look it up if you want, but the implication is that he's kind of an oddball for doing that, and that it's not a thing that's endorsed even by the people making the anime. Good Lord, so much dumb.
Way too early to be worried about boys falling in love with them.
Yeah, when
she's embarrassed and blushing, because as much as she likes being called cute, she finds it odd that that a boy at all is just talking to her. Normal kid stuff.
Oh my god, they're literally using the exact same argument as a certain simp that we'll be talking about later on.
That's further down the road after we have some lighter stuff we can talk about after this, because I think Chelsea has a few things, but that will be later. For now,
I'm like you, but when I say them, my words get all jumbled up as a result. So, okay.
It's okay. The one thing I also noticed, remember how I said they like using that ominous music, that really stuff that's meant to manipulate? That's what they put over that anime, because that's not from the actual anime. You actually look up that clip, it'll be completely different music if there's any there. They are deliberately... This is ye old basic psychological manipulation, and it's every dirty tactic I know of. And I've looked into stuff from NK Ultra, so I know a good chunk of the very dirty tactics. This is a lot of them, and they're not even trying to be subtle. They're just hammering them all at once.
When the animes have like young kids in there, then you just automatically assume that it's for kids.
I mean...
Who?
It depends on the anime.
Like it depends on the show or movie.
Just, you look at the... Okay, you can go ahead, babe, or I go ahead.
I'll just say this. Hey, buddy, you know that thing in your pocket that has a screen on it that's like a mini computer? If you find an anime and you type it in on that thing in the search engine, you can actually find out if it's for kids. Mind-blowing, isn't it?
Also, when they're on streaming services, or they're on the DVD or Blu-ray or whatnot shelves in stores or in libraries, they tend to have a description of what the rating is, by law, mind you.
And the age rating on them.
Yes, that too. The age rating, like if it's a movie, it has like a rating like G, PG, PG-13, or R. You generally know to some extent what you'll be putting in front of your kid. You would never put...
Well, not just that, because I know in the U.S. with physical media, they tend not to rate the TV shows, but there is like a little rating from the Canadian rating system that does help with that.
There is a TV rating system in current days that I think they do put it on some DVDs. But generally, when it comes to stuff in the West and it's a show, most adults have the half-decent mind to look it up.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm in need of fuzz therapy after all this stupidity. I'm
She's
currently putting my
fuzz therapy.
Diva's currently getting for her kitty to cuddle because this level of stupid needs kitty.
But because it's an animation, the twisted storylines usually fly under the radar.
There is such bullcrap in that one sentence right there. I'm not even going to bother.
I want to say a thing.
Go for it.
I thought Made in the Abyss was for kids because it had kids in it. It was not for kids. It's completely not. It was misleading.
Yes. Here's the thing. For those who are younger and even young adults, that is a common mistake people will make. At some point, you learn, maybe I should look this up first, like a sane, rational human being would think. Their implication is implying to people being lazy most days. Again, this was done in like 2020, 2021. That's been a trope until recent years, and people are realizing, get rid of YouTube Kids. It keeps showing disgusting, not for kids stuff. Actually pay more attention to what the kids are watching. Actually be careful. Like, some parents literally find stuff on YouTube that's safe after screening it on a playlist and put that on a loop, and they have like 4 different ones.
You kind of have to in this day and age because YouTube Kids can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, there's stuff in there I wouldn't trust to show a horror fan because it's that disgusting and evil. Let's keep going because, again, we're going.
But kids pick up on these themes subconsciously.
And yet pedophilia can be found across anime, as well as themes of incest.
It's anime. Okay, look, it's anime. There are some animes that explore the taboo because they're a lot more buttoned up than we are. It doesn't mean...
Yeah, they're more chill for a weird reason.
No. Exactly. Like, I'm going to say this. It's not indicative of all anime out there. Some are weird. Some aren't.
Okay, I'm gonna point something out for a hint of all the people wondering about Japan and anime in general. The brother here is dressed like a stereotypical Japanese young adult / student, and even the older ones don't change much. You dye your hair black if it's not black. You wear the same type of suit. You're expected to do the same excelling. You're expected to do work most days, most of your day. Japan is so conservative that America, at our most conservative, still doesn't come close to them. So the anime and the shows are how they express themselves or feel able to express themselves is in celebrating the fandom. And those parts of the culture are allowed during certain times for a reason.
Not to mention about the whole incest thing. Actual other Japanese creators have actually called that out. I mean, Yoko Taro literally created a character in the named Furii to express his disdain for such characters and the satellite love interest trope. So, you don't need to moralize about this sort of genre in anime. Other Japanese creators are already doing that in spades.
And as for pedophilia, the amount of creators across the planet that rail on that is ever growing, including, for a while now, people from Japan. There's a reason why anyone who actually watches Evangelion doesn't think Masato is legitimately having the hots for Shinji, or think Shinji's in anywhere a stable kid.
Okay, continue with the video.
Yep.
Incest, homosexuality, lesbianism, and transsexualism. And it gets even more weird when original Japanese anime is changed for US viewers.
In this context, their love, like, hold on.
Say it slowly.
Sailor Uranus and Neptune are love interests in the manga, but since it was Americanized, they made the mistake of them being cousins.
Yeah, which
it went
luckily
from
Viz did fix.
Yeah, Viz fixed it when they redid the 90s anime dub. Now here's the thing I always say, hey, when I hear that or when I tell people that, so they essentially went from steamy potential love interest stuff to Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, pretty much, because they didn't change a lot of the lives, but they still had them cousins. Like, yeah, you all didn't think that one through, did you?
No, they
Nope.
didn't. Again, Deke tried, but their best is a C grade.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention they actually did the same thing with Achilles and Patroclus in a TV series about Troy.
Yeah.
That
I
one.
wrote the cousins when in Greek myth.
They weren't. Let's keep going.
In Sailor Moon, Haruka and Michiru are lesbian lovers, but in the American version, they made them cousins.
I just said that, though.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's the way that they pronounced it. Did they? Mishuru. It's Mishiru.
Okay, Servant and I are in the Midwest. Even we know how to pronounce it.
Akira Michiru. The sheer fact that you goof. Chelsea has dyslexia, for those wondering. She gets a pass in all pronunciations by default. These guys don't have that excuse. This is blatantly so bad that part of me wants to reach through time and space and smack him upside the head. I'll settle for continuing to roast. Let's...
He's exactly the type who's supposed to have a pure heart and powers.
We should make sure we watch him closely then.
Leave it to me, cuz.
Okay.
Again...
They didn't think it through.
Again, they panicked about the lesbians and they forgot to reframe so much or rewrite a good chunk of the lines because again, Deke's best is a C grade. Maybe a solid C.
Actually, Servant, this was Cloverway, not Deke.
Oh, this was... Oh, so they even mixed up the dubs.
Yep.
Wow. That is even worse than I thought. Holy cow. Let's keep going.
Cloverway was in charge of the dubbing.
Hmm?
Cloverway was in charge of the dubbing post season 2.
That's
From Sailor Moon and Super onward, that they were Cloverway.
Oh, by the way, notice how they cut from the 90s to the Sailor Moon Crystal anime, which has a completely different animation style.
Mm-hmm. Didn't think this through because they left the scenes the same, only changing dialogue, leaving the...
But by the way,
Yeah,
they
Crystal,
don't
they
change the
didn't change
dialogue in
dialogue.
Crystal because they're more closely reflecting the manga, which, which would mean that doesn't apply to this scene.
No,
Again.
because they actually are lovers in that in Crystal because they didn't change it.
Not to mention the reason why the U.S. was so gung-ho about covering up that tidbit was because they had this policy back in the day, in the 90s, called Don't Ask, Don't Tell. So when they had some lesbians appearing in a kids show, they panicked.
And before anyone jumps down on our throats in the comments, yes, it was only officially in the military. Most of Hollywood and elsewhere also applied it. So, yeah, that was a thing in case you've forgotten your recent history.
Impression that they are some sort of twisted cousin lovers. Usagi, or better known as Sailor Moon.
The framing of that scene is deliberately cut and zoomed in on to make it look very much darker than it is.
Is a middle schooler who...
See what I mean? Oh, by the way, notice that that's his chest, not his crotch.
falls in love with a college student.
We've already discussed this point. We don't need to say it anymore. Or it is deliberately dumb to try and bring this as an actual point. It shows you did no research or very little.
There's even a scene of the characters engaging in sex.
They're not even
that was a makeout section. That was a makeout session.
Also,
there's no light there.
Yeah, that you're upset about. Like,
I literally just broke character right there.
Well, no, the way I see it is like they're upset about this. Like Shakespeare did stuff like this in his plays all the time.
Yeah, you got no talking point because if you're gonna try and promote. By the way, I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to go after Shakespeare. because of Macbeth. If you know, you know what I mean.
He's dead, though. How can you go after someone that's dead?
Because of the witches in Shakespeare, which are not meant to be a portrayal of anything good regarding witchcraft.
Okay.
They're actually part of the cautionary tale of that entire dang play.
Oh.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have our racist induction.
Okay. This certainly is not kids'
And
material.
yes, it is racist, trust me, people.
Yeah, again, warning, this is the most racist thing in this documentary. And after we're done with the Sailor Moon section, I'm skipping to the end credits where they deliberately point it out.
Maybe we should pause it.
I'll get it.
Pause real quick.
Huh?
Okay.
That scene that they claim where they were having sex, that was a makeout session, not sex.
Did they lose any clothes during it?
No. And, they just fell onto the bed fully clothed and they started kissing each other. That was it. The only time that they actually did the deed was literally the day before they got married.
And refresh my memory, is that in anywhere in the manga or in any of the animes?
I think in the manga. I could be wrong.
It's in the manga. It's literally after they defeat Galaxia and ergo Chaos. Usagi was able to convince the guardian of the chaos of the cosmos crystal to send her friends back to their time and place. And the next scene after that is Usagi and Mamoru waking up in bed together. You can clearly tell that they did it. They did the deed. And it's literally the morning of their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is such blatant bullcrap. Now let's get to this racism.
Maybe we should pause it.
I'll get it.
Hey, Fiesta Taco Delivery, where there's a party in every bag.
Yes, it is deliberately trying to be racist. It is deliberately trying to be. You are correct in that assessment. Keep listening.
Did anybody order tacos?
Tacos?
By the way,
What?
listen to what else he says, because this is where it gets stupid.
No, I didn't order it, but that should definitely be what we have for lunch.
Man, it looks like you guys having a watch party. That's kind of weird.
Hey, this is not one of those weird fetish parties.
How would he know that? He don't know that. He a fraud. He's a fraud.
Yes, Servant, I have a question for you real quick.
Yes.
You've read my writing, right?
Yes.
Have I ever written anything that cheesy as a comedic thing?
Not that I'm aware of. This is literally supposed to be the comedy section of the review of this part of the doc. And it's also meant to be a manipulative framing device of, it's all very weird and creepy. Urgh. There is such stupid in that if I ever tried to lay it out more, I would probably give myself an aneurysm.
Oh, by the way, Chelsea, you get some cookies for that.
Thank you.
Yay.
Is it?
No, it's not. You see, we're...
Hey, look, I'm not judging.
Yeah, the fact that they have him cut her off is very telling of how they want to frame him seeing this.
Jane, just dropping off some food. This is not 66 Broad Street, is it?
No, this is 144 Narrowway.
But can we put in...
Okay.
The streets don't even sound the same. The joke does not work.
The jokes is in the street. 66 Broad Street, a.k.a. Broad, wide is the path that leads to hell, and 1044 Narrow Way. Narrow is the path that leads to salvation. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a frickin' 1044 scripture. I'll look it up and just find it later. But, jeez, the blatant manipulation in that joke is stupid.
In order?
They're laying it on.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll be back later.
Well, that was kind of awkward, but you know what's crazy? There are tons of reaction videos on YouTube where people don't find this scene disturbing.
This is...
That's because it's a makeout session between two people who are in love, moron.
But it's
They're
hard. The
literally-
bright light makes it look like it's hard to see.
They're
Again, it's
literally lost lovers who found each other again.
Oh, confession. You can make out with someone without having sex.
Yep, I
Yeah.
can confirm that.
Can't confirm myself. I've been dating and am now engaged for the last and been in a been in the same relationship for the last 11 years. Soon to be 12.
Mazel tov.
Actually,
Yep.
correction, 11. 11.
Yeah.
It'll soon be 11 years by. It'll be
Yeah.
soon be 11.
Okay.
Yep.
But yes, Mazel tov.
Let us continue this nonsense of stupidity.
This isn't the only time that Usagi stayed overnight at her boyfriend's house.
We should probably go wake Chibiusa.
Let her sleep. Both of you can stay here tonight.
Who wants to give the context?
It was raining and she needed shelter to go to house.
Yeah.
Partially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you can actually share space with your lover without indulging in the act. I actually do it on a regular basis.
I literally did that. I literally did that too when I was in California for UC Chelsea. We didn't do anything, and we were in the same house.
Yeah.
And yes, I have in fact slept in the same bed as my fiance, but one, we don't do it at night, it's only in the morning. And yes, there is a camera there and make sure that we're behaving ourselves.
Gee, it's
Contrary
like...
to
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, we have better thinking skills than the animals in the wild.
I swear these guys are ridiculously silly.
Or would you say
This particular...
Huh?
Or would you say outright puritanical, as in 1600 Salem witch trials level puritanical? If I were to hazard a guess.
I mean, possibly. That's kind of how this comes off.
I can already imagine the seething that they would have when I just admitted that I actually sleep in the same bed as my fiance.
Oh, they would probably call you a degenerate and condemn you wholesale. All right, let's keep going.
Storyline is even carried over into later seasons of the show. There is even a scene where Usagi's love interest, Mamoru, accidentally kisses an extremely young 5-year-old.
He was brainwashed, or
no, that's his daughter.
Okay, one. A, that's his daughter. B, it's a clearly comedic accent where she literally drops in on them without realizing it. And
She literally fell from the sky.
Yeah. Also, C, the final bit, she literally keeps doing it just to tease her mother before she realizes that she's her daughter.
Not to mention, at least it's better than someone face planting into someone else's naughty bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I see that a lot in what I'm watching with a reviewer friend of mine. I'm not bringing it up here. It's not appropriate.
No, we're not. That is deliberately. If they'd have gone after that, I don't think anyone would have given them any credit. They'd be like, "Oh, congratulations, you hit the low-hanging fruit correctly. Nice job." Oh, for crying out!
Old Sailor Chibi, which how do you?
They said it wrong. It's Sailor Chibi Moon or Mini Moon is the deep dub.
Yeah.
How can
They could have gone either Sailor Chibi Moon or Chibi Usa.
Or Rini.
I just literally had a nosebleed.
Seriously?
Ugh.
Get some Kleenex.
Just stupidity.
I can't wait to do a positive review next week.
I don't blame you. This is
accidentally kiss a 5-year-old.
Next time.
Gee, maybe because she literally falled out in his lap when he was already leaning forward to kiss his girlfriend. You crazy retards.
Also, again, this isn't really played for seriousness. It's clearly played for comedy.
And Japan's comedy is different than American comedy.
Yes. And also, this is still the kind of same slapstick you'd sometimes see in the West. It just wouldn't be with children because we have limits. Japan's like, nah, go there. And again,
Yeah.
they're not endorsing it. It's literally a case of comedy, meaning it's a joke. It's not an endorsement of anything beyond ha.
Hey, what just happened here?
Oh, by the way, look at his shocked eyes. He's like, what the hell?
Oh, by the way, they're using the Viz dub right now.
Yep.
Oh.
They cut between the dubs purely for the sake of making their arguments.
You there! What do you think you're doing? Why are you hugging my mamo? Mamo?
Sandy Fox, yay!
Mm-hmm.
Hey! Back off! Get away from my man!
Usagi becomes jealous when she thinks her boyfriend is falling in love with a grade school girl.
It's a daughter shit, yada yada, rinse and repeat.
Here's the thing. Context. It matters. In Japan, there's this thing where sometimes the mother will develop such an inferiority complex in regards to her daughter, fearing that her daughters would become competition.
So,
So it actually was a plot point in another show called Fruits Basket.
Meaning, again, it's a comedy bit, you doofuses. Also, they brought back their ominous music. And again, they cut now to Crystal to try and make their point when it's completely different animes, but it's the same gag.
Oh, and need I mention that in Crystal, she's jealous of the attention Chibiusa's getting, and she's feeling neglected.
Yeah, like multiple women do, even in the West, when it comes to their spouses.
It's not so much that she's jealous that she thinks that he's falling in love with a grade schooler. She thinks that he's giving her too much attention.
Yes, and she says it the same way other women will say it in a shocking manner, purely to keep attention on her and shock him and to get an actual response because she feels she has to. And the bunny disappeared for a hot second.
Back.
Okay, let's continue this.
My phone's about to die.
The only thing you care about lately is Chibiusa. Do you like her?
Sure, we're almost done here.
Do you think she's that cute?
What? That's
By the way, go for it.
See, even he's noting that it's a ridiculous bit, that she doesn't have to worry about that.
Also, again, they put that music over this to make it all seem ominous and dark. When I'm willing to bet the anime has lighter tone to it this scene, or at least not as somber and dark of one, because this makes...
Need I mention, in Crystal, she literally just lost some of her friends to the Black Moon Clan who had kidnapped them. She's vulnerable at this moment and letting insecurities eat her alive.
Gee, it's like a thing Usagi does a lot, and also is a housewife trope out of Japan.
Although in Fruits Basket, it's not played for comedy; it's actually played for tragedy.
Yeah.
Just to throw that out there.
Fair enough. Let's keep going.
ridiculous. She's still in elementary school. She's just a little kid.
So what if she's little? That doesn't matter in love.
Yeah.
She's being insecure. It's not endorsing pedophilia. You have to be very smooth brain to think that, and clearly these people are smooth brain.
They're definitely
like,
looking right now.
I'm smooth brain, but I'm not that smooth brain.
Compared to them, you're an intellectual thinker with a 198 IQ.
Also, Chelsea, you're not smooth-brained.
You are simple, not smooth brain. Smooth brain implies the inability for ideas to get in your head. Ideas still get in your head, even if they're sometimes silly ideas, but they get there.
I don't understand the word, then it's smooth brain.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
She's still another woman!
basically revealing that, yes, it's the trope. It's the insecurity trope, a.k.a. context. By the way, apologies for everyone's ears with me getting close to the mic with that. But yeah, like David said, it's a known trope. It's a thing. And Usagi is clearly vulnerable given, oh yeah, she's had friends kidnapped. I want any of these guys to put themselves in that scenario and tell me they do better. Of course, that implies they could be honest because, as we've seen, they're incapable of that. Let's keep going.
This twisted relationship is not the only young love to spring.
Back to the 90s anime again.
By the way,
Naru.
Isn't that a commandment? Isn't there a commandment against lying, not just bearing false witness?
Yes, thou shalt not lie.
It says thou shalt not bear false witness, which again is very much a case of this. And the sheer... The odd bit is they're trying to frame it like there's adultery or other things involved, or like thou shalt not covet being involved, not implied in the actual context. So they're not just bearing false witness, they've committed a few other blasphemies if we named them. Oh, good lord.
Oh my god, are they seriously going to use Nephrite's false relationship with Nehru?
Yes.
Who is also aged 14, falls in love with Nephrite, who is 9.
By the way, he's not 19. Who wants to give context for that?
He's 18.
I don't just mean that. Diva, do you want to do that?
Oh, for the girl. Oh.
No, for him.
Go ahead, Dee. Oh.
Last I checked that the four generals... Last I checked... Oh, let me do this thing called Google. Something that they don't know.
I know a bare bones of it. The four generals, Nephrite included, were never reincarnated. They were brainwashed and frozen in the Arctic and kept alive through ancient dark magic for thousands of years canonically in the show. So he's technically not an 18-year-old. He's in his thousands of years old and is effectively cradle robbing in the worst way, and clearly doesn't see her as a romantic partner because, again, brainwashed to do a demon's bidding. It's not like that's actually going to be a case where he cares about being honest, and manipulating a little girl like that for him is seen as a welcomed casualty.
And it's, oh gee, it's almost as if Nephrite is a villain. Oh, but also, 90s 90s version of Sailor Moon, the generals willingly betrayed Mamoru in favor of the Dark Kingdom.
Yeah.
In Crystal, on the other hand, they were actually loyal to him until Queen Beryl brainwashed them to serve Queen Metalia.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that with the 90s bit, there was a willing betrayal because they felt like it. Mind you, the context of why has been theorized for that version for a long time now. But
not to mention, one of the four generals was supposed to be a love interest for the four Sailor Guardians, but unfortunately, Naoko dropped the ball in that regard.
Yeah, it's a special level of just dumb and silly. But ladies and gentlemen, this is why we are just pointing all this out in tangent form, aside from pausing to avoid copyright shenanigans because YouTube. But yeah, these goofballs are just stupid. Very stupid. And that they're ignoring all the context because, again, no matter how you slice how they betray willingly or brainwashing their general at the time, they're literally thousands of years old. This is, again, tell me you did very little research and are lying about it without telling me.
This is disturbing. You can clearly see that he towers over the little girl.
Yikers. That's not something you want your kid exposed to.
Oh, just wait. It gets...
Say what?
Nehru is 14. She's not a little girl.
I know plenty of 14-year-old girls, if you said that to their face, they'd smack you upside the head and kick you in the groin. As
Also,
hard
even
as
if,
possible.
Also, even if men tower over women, that's kind of a biological thing.
Women who tower over men are a rare genetic moment, and I know one who is just over 6 feet tall, and she literally jokes about being a giant.
Ways to tower over them, they get stepped on.
Oh my god, they're literally using Brittany Venti's argument.
Which, given it's Brinty Venti, and she's known to be a disingenuous lying harlot, don't trust that kind of argument ever, no matter who makes it. Doesn't matter if it's Little Light Studios or Brinty Venti or other such goofballs. Let's go on.
It's worse. Even the villains in the series are gender-bending teenagers. The
Starlights are not villains!
Again, tell me you didn't do your research without telling me. So, the gender-bending bit. Diva, would you like to explain that context?
Well, in the original manga and Crystal, the Sailor Starlights are disguising themselves as boys to interact with to find their princess.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the 90s dub, the animation studio dropped the ball and made them boys in their civilian guise, girls in their sailor form. But the thing is about the Starlights, Naoko Takeuchi outright said, Sailor Guardians must be girls. She absolutely despised the fact that they actually twisted it and tried to make boy Sailor Guardians without her knowledge or consent.
This is why it took so long to get a second anime that honored the manga, because she immediately was so outraged by this. She put a kibosh on any attempts. The minute someone brought it up to her, she would immediately glare and shut it down hard.
Especially after how she got into fights with not only the first animation studio, but also with Kunihiko Ikuhara.
I think the only reason she didn't get into a fight with any of the dubbing studios is because that she didn't want to fly out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's it. Like she couldn't be arsed to fly, but if she had a chance, there would be words. I think in some other case, I think she before Crystal was actually done, she was so pissed that she said, even if I did, there would be lawyers involved. Because to my understanding, to get Crystal made, she had ironclad control over details of the adaptation, and there were lawyers in place where if someone tried to slip something past her, lawsuits and fines up the wazoo. She was done playing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Ikuhara actually made Mamoru act out of character.
Mm-hmm.
And we already know how much I despise season 2 Mamoru.
Yeah,
yes, we know. You won't.
We don't talk about the nonsense of that out of the 90s show, among other things. Moving on.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, there is no Highlander 2.
Sailor Starlights are 3 sailor senshi from another star system looking for their missing princess, which lands them on Earth to find her. In their civilian forms, they are biological men who...
We already talked about that. We already talked about that. That was literally the 90s scene, and the creator went after the studio hard to the point of negating anime. Like we said, this is a very dumb take. This is a surface level, lukewarm take. And yes, I am using the term lukewarm as a Christian deliberately on these people, because this has hit the point where they're committing almost outright blasphemies doing this. It's one thing to lie this much and bear false witness, but to clearly prove that you didn't care enough to do research when, what's that thing in scripture? All things you do who are to be done to honor God, fearfully and lovingly. This is neither. If anything, God, I imagine, is offended by this thing. That's why I'm referring to this documentary. Every bit of it is this thing, because I doubt he would have anything resembling nice words to say. While I would never expect the Almighty to swear, I know he's capable of being creative in his rebukes. If anyone wants proof of that, I want you to read the last bits of the book of Job, where he immediately calls Job on his own goofball behavior and then proceeds to lambast his friends immediately after. Because yes, the Almighty is not above occasionally being snarky. For further proof, read the Gospels. Jesus outright proved that. But on this, even Jesus is face palming. Congratulations.
Created a boy band called Three Lights.
So it's kind of like the Spice Girls meets NSYNC?
Now that would be weird. They'd be.
There's only 3, and the NSYNC has more than 3.
NSYNC had 5. Spice Girls had 5.
Yeah, Linkin Park has 5.
I think the Linkin Park wasn't a boy band. You're thinking of Backstreet Boys.
Oh.
I'm trying to know if there were any other boy bands back then, but they all were kind of flashing. No, what you're thinking of the Jonas Brothers when it comes to boy bands of 3 guys.
Oh yeah, Jonas Brothers, yeah.
That's another rabbit
Another
hole.
can of worms, and maybe they're Christian.
Showcasing their musical ignorance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, showcasing their ignorance and lack of ability to do research. Gee, it's like these guys are ridiculously dumb with their takes.
Become female when they transform into their Sailor Senshi forms.
Again, not true.
Additionally, their leader is clearly in love with Sailor Moon.
Okay.
And most fans actually don't like that ship.
The fans who
They
try to
don't
push...
know each other.
Let me put it this way. That ship, from what I know, is bait. It is known bait for tourists. It is effectively, from what I've heard some people guess, the creator, because I don't remember if this is also in the manga, the creator is only never railed about that bit because it's a great filter.
And the Seiya only kissed Usagi on the lips, but it was a kiss of, I get what you're going through, not a romantic kiss.
Yeah. The 90s making her seem like she was falling in love, because again, that was mainly the 90s Deke and whatnot anime.
Not Deke, because of the fact that season 5 never came overseas because of the...
Oh, right, no, Viz Media did the dub, yeah. Viz Media and others doing that dub, they framed it like that... Partly because that's how the anime did it in the... again, the anime that the creator blatantly railed against and called out did in the... back in the 90s in Japan. It's not the actual context. The actual context of the actual moments there isn't that he's falling in love with her. It's that she, I should say, might be somewhat attracted in a sense to Usagi, she also realizes she's suffering through torment, which is also part of the reason why he uses the song at one point to impart her own backstory to Usagi in a scene and give her a frame of reference to point out, I get what you're going through, here's my backstory. But, jeez.
Bloody tourists.
Yep, they've hit every tourist bit while being disingenuous and bad faith and outright bearing false witness. Ironically, doing it as Christians, which, again, is a blasphemy. It's bad enough to lie, even as a Christian. To do it in something you're presenting as, we're Christians doing this, is effectively saying Jesus would approve of this.
Which is super confusing to the viewer because their genders constantly change.
This sounds like something from 2020, but it came out nearly 30 years ago.
Once again, Naoko hated it.
When the creator of the freaking media in question outright condemns it. This is almost as bad as Lucas referring to Disney as being slave traders and that he sold his own child into slavery when it came to selling them Star Wars and Lucasfilm. It's near the same level. It's just, unlike George Lucas, the creator of the franchise, the mangaka author, had full ability to deny any future anime, and this guaranteed she would put a kibosh and legal controls on it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So again, they're being very dumb.
You know, the Bible has a lot to say about sexual immorality.
No, that's the Adam and Eve. Another.
The sheer amount of again, I have 10 commandments in front of me on a plaque. Thou shalt not commit adultery. All I need to say.
1 Thessalonians 4:3-5 says, "It is God's will that you."
1 Thessalonians 4 verse 3. Okay, where is that?
Is this God that you shall be sanctified?
Sanctified. That's chapter 4. It's referring to the commandments that were given to them by the Lord Jesus. For this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that ye should abstain from fornication. It doesn't simply refer to sexual immorality. Fornication literally refers to, among other things, lusting, fantasizing, and outright masturbation. Let's see, that's only verse 3. Verse 4, that every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor, meaning treat your body as the temple of the Holy Spirit it's supposed to be, and don't treat it like a cheap whorehouse. And again, verse 5 cements that, not in the lust of concupiscence, even as the Gentiles which know not God. Note the fact that that's missing context when I go to that, because verse 6, that no man go beyond and defraud his brother in any manner, because that the Lord is the avenger of all such, as we also have forewarned you and testified. Verse 7, for God has not called us unto uncleanness, but unto holiness. Context matters, and it kind of shadows parts of their bit, because this is a thing I've noticed. Even in Scripture, they can't be bothered to give any proper context. And a few times like this, it kind of fits. It's just kind of barely, and the context basically is missing.
You should be sanctified, that you should avoid sexual immorality, that each of you should learn to control your own body in a way that is holy and honorable, not in passionate lust like the pagans who do not know God.
It did not say the original Greek. The King James, for its issues, is very close to the original Greek. It did not simply say pagan, Higgins. It said Gentiles, and the referring from the Greek, if I recall correctly, I'll have to look it up, is those unsaved, aka those that did not know Jesus at the time as Lord and Savior. Gee, it's calling you to be separate from the world. Even when pulling this, I don't know what translation this is, they're blatantly using it in a way, and a deliberate translation, to push a narrative.
Wait. Don't you have to be a penguin to be a pagan?
No, pagan refers to those who worship other gods.
Oh, so there's nothing with penguins. Darn, I was so close than I thought.
Oh, here, let me give you a better one. Remember how they refer... This is them leading into things, because in that short, they referenced this as though they were talking about how certain deities in some bits. And we mentioned that. This is their attempt to pull a lead in. A very, very blatantly stupid attempt when you understand the manipulation at play.
Amen. Great text, Keith. Along with all the adult...
Yeah, great text, but bad placing.
Adult-themed relationships, there are a ton of questionable messages and occult references that are very problematic for any Christian.
Name one. Show me one example where you see a cult.
They said occult, as in like witchcraft and the occult.
Yeah, that's what I meant, occult.
The thing is, again, here, let me back this up.
Sailor Chibi Moon got
questionable messages and occult references.
By the way, notice this. They use this scene initially with the
And
red
then use
framing.
Eternal.
Yeah, and then they go
Very
right to Eternal.
problematic.
And also, there's a pink filter over this scene. I don't recall that
Pink
being in that
filter
scene.
vibe.
Oh yeah, it's a pink reddish filter that's meant to make everything look a little more evil and demonic. It's very much a case of evil be intimidated, which is also why the music framing is chosen for that.
For any
And then doing the Eternal is because Angel wings. Ladies and gentlemen, when you recognize you're being manipulated, you see the stupid version of the messaging and what they're trying to push. This is clearly fallen angel reference. Oh!
If you're looking for that, look at Penny and Stocking with Got a Belt.
That's literally
Can't
a
wait to watch
plot.
the new one.
Despite how raunchy that is literally a plot point of the characters. That would be a better target, but then again, it came out after this thing was done, and it's a Western thing, so it destroys their point.
Christian. I'm talking about magic, sorcery, spells, and reincarnation.
So using reincarnation.
Reincarnated.
Using reincarnation during a teleportation sequence where they all had to combine their power. Gee, I happen to know something about biblical teleportation known as translating through the glory, as it's referred to in Scripture. That usually just refers to worship of Jesus, and even then, there are some accounts where it's not just one person, but multiple people being teleported while worshiping God. There's a point where you blatantly don't know what you're talking about and you're doing it anyway, but you're aware you don't know enough, so you're lying on multiple levels.
Nation.
How long
And
have you been
even
going
underage
for?
drinking
About 2 hours.
of alcohol.
Besides, I
It's
think
very
we already
nice
got
to
to this
make
point.
your acquaintance.
Yep.
That doesn't sound right.
Here's the full
Glad
scene.
To know you? Look at them. They're not having any trouble. The book says in a situation like this, have something to drink. Here goes.
She didn't know it was the wrong drink.
Yeah, again, like we said, context is king, and oddly enough, this destroys that short and does not prove it. This whole thing basically says, yeah, that's not underage drinking. Why are you retarded? Why are you stupid? I intended to be that black African guy and ask if they're gay.
Congrats, you played yourself.
Why are you gay? I want to read from that. Why are you stupid? Why are you stupid? I am not stupid. You are stupid. Look at this. You are stupid.
You're running. Why are you running?
That too.
You know, the Bible is very specific not to have anything to do with witchcraft.
Yes.
Being a dead
You know,
bush.
I think I can get this out of the way now, because it's like, okay, look, magic and anime, it's more of an umbrella term. Technically speaking, the powers that Usagi and her friends have are alien, because otherworldly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like in the West where basically people want to mix up magic with a TK.
Yeah, again, it's... You could make the argument that some of this is based around technology, and that the other bits of it are in different contexts, because the way the Sailor Senshi seem to refer to is that they have of some governance over cosmic forces, aka they're considered guardians and watchmen, especially the outer, over the entire solar system. And yes, there are multiple biblical references I can make from that alone. But let's keep going.
In Deuteronomy 18:10 through 12, it states, "There shall not be found among you."
Deuteronomy is one of the books of Moses. This is from when they were walking in Egypt, and it was God laying out the law for the first time. While it is applicable to Christians today, this is again...
This is a Dutch translation? Because half of it says Dutch.
No, that's a shortening of Deuteronomy,
Oh, Deuteronomy.
because it's a very long word.
Hold on one second. Let's pull out the actual scripture here.
Oh, yes.
That's Genesis, Exodus.
Deuteronomy 18, verse 10. Okay. Oh, there is context. This is them when they're coming into a new land. Verse 8 No, verse 9. When thou art come into the land in which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. Again, context matters. There shall not be found among you any one that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the fire.
As in offering, as in sacrificing your children to a pagan idol.
Or that useth divination, or an observer of the times, or as an enchanter or a witch. By the way, observer of the times is horoscope type stuff, astrology. So
The stars, Leo.
Basically, he's saying as if they matter over your life more than anything else. Yeah.
The
And
star
then
constellation, yeah.
Yeah. And then it goes on to list, and then, or a charmer, or a consultant with the familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. For all that do those things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. Now I'm going to break out the condemning thing of these guys. Condemning, basically.
Condemning, oh.
I was trying to say it fancy and I flubbed. But the condemning thing about them is, one thing else that is marked as being as unto the sin of witchcraft is the sin of rebellion, and that's including not doing things proper or being dishonest knowingly.
That's why Cain killed Abel?
No, that's murder.
Oh.
No, this is...
never mind.
That's a different thing. No, this is a case of... Let me put it this way. Every mainstream media that they're now starting to tank is guilty of this particular nonsense. Lying and twisting the facts, if not outright lying about them, to push a narrative and doing it knowingly. It's one thing when you don't know. They clearly know enough to know how to lie about it. They're clearly manipulating the details. This, ladies and gentlemen, is them unironically committing the sin of rebellion, which is in Scripture likened unto the sin of witchcraft. They are as guilty as they are claiming the anime is. Now that we're done with that, let's continue.
Anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or useth divination, or an observer of times, or of an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer, for all that do these things are an abomination to the Lord. Because of these abominations, the Lord God doth drive them out from before thee. When the Bible uses the word abomination, it literally means that God hates those things and that he would excommunicate the people if they engaged in such activities.
That's Old Testament. Context matters. It is possible to redeem yourself if you actually are repentant, even from almost every sin except for the one that is considered the unforgivable, which is outright blaspheming against the Holy Spirit, and in a way, which, by the way, the only one who is known to have outright committed that sin in scriptural record is Satan himself. Because if you've
I want to add in the thing. Why is the scripture's word spell checked, or is it different how they spelled words back then?
Oh, the King James is literally from the same area they wrote Shakespeare.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's King James of England that wrote it. That's why it's all of these and thous. Because back then, that's how they wrote a lot of stuff. The speaking was similar.
Especially given that in Shakespeare's time, thee and thou was how you referred to you.
Yeah.
And color is spelled with a U.
That's a different bit, but okay.
That's more a British thing, Chelsea.
Yeah. That's a Britishism, not a timeism. Let's continue before we fit, because we're almost done with this
Do
section.
you guys notice the symbols on their forehead? Look like they are taken from astrology. Check this out.
Wow, it reminds me of when the book of Revelation describes God's...
I don't think Revelation had evolved.
Those are the planetary symbols of their respective planets.
Yes. It's like it's custom in many... It's like them being on the forehead is more reference to them being royalty or something than, mark of the beast. This is the kind of low-hanging fruit I would expect out of a God's Not Dead movie.
And need I mention the factor that, well, those symbols are actually used by scientists studying the cosmos.
Yes.
Yeah, like NASA.
Because they're very good, and it's not because of paganry reasons, though in some cases I would not put it past some people to do that in the sly just because they think they're sneaky. For most, it's because it's easy shorthand and it's easier than putting in Jupiter.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention there are also alchemical symbols for the elements.
Ironically, also, yes, and again, and alchemy originally was not simply just an ancient, like, pagan bit meant to try and master the elements. It is also known as the first touches of Western science into high-grade chemistry. Now, granted, most chemistry can be also attributed to Christians, but alchemy is where some of the stuff gets pulled from, including Mercury's alias of Quicksilver, because that's what they used to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Moving on, because I'm going to probably have to skip to the Revelation bit, because I think we already covered. Yeah, we already covered that. We're not doing that twice.
People having a seal on their foreheads, and the wicked having a mark. There's a ton of demonic possession in this show.
At one point, Sailor Moon cries out to Saturn, which is completely pagan, and in some ancient writings is a reference to Satan.
Calling out to her to save her, you
Oh my god.
Okay, Diva.
Where?
It is very stupid. Diva, what's the context of that scene specifically? Because that's pulling from, I think, Crystal.
Well, season 3, Saturn just sacrificed herself to stop an eldritch abomination from parasitically fusing itself with Earth. Saturn was able to remove it like one would remove a cancer from a patient, and then told Pluto to seal the time door behind her, so this way she could keep that thing from ever leaving its original homeland, its original home dimension that is dying because it fed on it.
Yeah, before the thing closed, Sailor Moon went to grab her and she changed into the baby. Right? Or am I wrong?
You're mostly right. Mostly right. It's just after that moment, she's calling out to Sailor Saturn for the fact that she just sacrificed herself, and Sailor Moon is upset because she couldn't save her.
Gee, it's like it's a sorrowful, regretful scene and not a worshipful one. I am literally closing my eyes almost completely to where I look like Brock from Pokemon. It is that stupid.
Oh, now it's R.I.P. Brock.
Don't remind me.
You said Brock, though.
No, I know.
mind.
No, I meant don't remind me about the fact the anime is basically done what it did. That's a completely different can of worms. But yeah. This is such stupid. We're most of the way done with this part. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we're getting there.
9 minutes.
Oh, by the way, that scene is if I remember right, that's Usagi in her full power at the time, restoring what happened.
Yes, she's literally cleansing the land of Pharaoh 90's corruption.
And also restoring it to what it was. It's like, gee, I wonder how that could be a thing in scripture. I'm sure when it comes to any sort of divine power. Oh yeah, I will restore, or the years that the locust, the canker and all the others have devoured from you. It's like
she's fixing the property damage.
Yeah, like, and she's basically trying to make it could not be destroyed or anything. That's not something I would ever use to be framed as dark or witchcraft. It's literally her pulling off a miracle. Jeez, the sheer lukewarm takes here, people.
The city. She's restoring it.
Note that they don't.
Space cats.
Note that they don't say it. Let it be known that it's Usagi doing it. They cut away before it can be clear that she's the one doing it. They frame it like Sailor Saturn did it after Usagi called out to her in a form of worship.
Character Tuxedo Mask blasphemously calls Sailor Moon the Messiah.
Because in Japanese culture, they believe that anybody can become a messiah-like figure.
They're not.
In their eyes, Buddha is a messiah. Christ is a messiah. There's numerous messiahs.
Yes.
It's not an act of blasphemy. Usagi is just taking on a role that is similar to the Buddha.
Yeah, in that case, in Japan, in context, it's not that blasphemous. Would I argue that as a culture they have some things backwards? Yes. I wouldn't use this as a point to make, though, because it's so blatantly dumb that you're missing context. Again, context is king, and these people keep freaking missing with the swings.
Notice that.
Can I also quickly mention that if you're going to at least try to understand that if you're trying to understand a Japanese medium, understand the culture. I mean, Silence as a film has a better understanding of faith than most Christian films nowadays. Although I will say that there's actually been an improvement over the last few years.
Well, yeah, that's because we've had stuff like The Chosen. Oh, by the way, for anyone wondering, yes, these guys have blatantly been misinforming people about The Chosen for multiple ways and using them as an attack vector.
And I assume they were going to do a video on that, or no? That's
they've done multiple.
No, I mean us reacting to it, but
I don't wanna. This is already the anime one's already dumb, and we're gonna have our hands full with this. I'm not touching their Chosen stuff. That is for someone much more skilled at theology and scripture to attack their talking points from. But let's finish this bit up.
There are 5 sailor girls, each named after different planets. The number 5 in the Wiccan religion represents.
All right, we already had this bit.
So that would mean there's 9.
There's 9.
Yeah, there's 9.
Like literally.
Content is king.
Yeah.
Which is Wiccan lingo for the watchtowers.
And notice how they're sounding off a bell that was not present in the original anime.
Yeah. Here's the thing I will say. Anytime you hear Wiccan lingo, remember this context before anyone forgets it. Nothing that is called Wiccan or is actually something that works alongside the devil or evil spirits in general, or demons, is original. It's all ripped off of stuff God does. The term guardians, the 4 winds, the 4 elements, the 4 towers. The pentagram is actually a ripoff of what a layout of a human. Again, it wasn't like the upside down cross. They weren't originally pagan or demonic symbols. In fact, an upside down cross literally refers to Saint Peter. It's why the Family Guy joke of "Hey Peter" is used with that. Like blatantly misinformed Hollywood and goofball types. Oh, it's demonic. Actual knowledgeable Christians. Hey Peter. That's how it is.
There's red herring. Anything in the Bible?
Ironically, Chelsea, these guys are actually trying to pull kind of red herring type stuff. They're trying to just bait people into believing something in such a deliberate way that when you actually look at it, you wonder what the heck's wrong with these people, because they seem to have never moved on to electric because they're gaslighting so much it could light up the entire planet and it to be visible from Jupiter.
That correspond to the 4 directions and the 4 elements. When the watchtowers are invoked,
on the first panel.
Again, this is a fan animation. These are all legit from different parts of the animes. In fact, is this from the 90s or the Crystal?
Crystal.
This is fan. This is Crystal. This and this, if I remember right,
it
are
symbolizes the connection
90s ones, which of course, yeah. And then they go into the tree.
All things that exist. The 5th,
which I remember if that's from season 2 of the 90s dub?
Yes, that's from the 90s series. They needed something to pad out until Naoko Takeuchi actually made something because fans wanted more, but she was not willing to give because she had been burnt out after making the first series, which is what season 1 was based on.
Yeah.
So to pad out the So to pad it out, they added a filler arc for season 2, where there is a Makai tree, which is an alien tree that actually granted life to alien creatures, and the only two that survived a war with themselves were Ali and En.
Mm-hmm.
They came to Earth to harvest energy because the tree that gave them life is dying, because different world.
Yeah. The thing is, from what I understand, this season is part of the reason why the creator, why she just really did. I think this was referenced in one of her bigger gripes about doing an anime again, is that she didn't want a repeat of this season. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
She, like, from what I heard, the roast she went on about it alone when it was made, part of what was after she found out what was being done with this is what made her go, no, you're not destroying my work.
Mm-hmm.
And her temper only got worse from there. Let's keep going.
Because she got into fights with Kunihiko Ikuhara, who had a different vision for what he had in mind for Tuxedo Mask. He wanted to kill him off. Naoko said no.
Yeah. I think she was very descriptive on what the no was, but I'm not going into that for obvious reasons of she did not hold back at all when she was that angry.
Fifth element being spirit. The series borrows concepts from the Bible, such as the Tree of Life, which is depicted in the...
It's not the Tree of Life.
No, like
Eons
literally.
about looted solid.
Like literally, that tree is sucking out the nutrients. That's not what the Tree of Life does.
By the way, does that look like a tree or a mushroom to you guys?
Looks like a mushroom.
Yeah.
Looks like a alien tree, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, what tree?
Looks like an alien tree.
Yeah, an alien tree or an alien mushroom. And given how it seems to be feeding off of life to sustain himself, I'm going to go with the fungus.
Show as a god-like being who was alone in the universe and then created humanoid people because it was lonely.
We've already gave context.
Context is king.
And these people are again stupid because I'm so glad we're finished with this and I can just cut to the some of the more prominent bits, including point out their own nonsense from their little attempt to... Well, no. Point it out from their mid-card bit where they try to point out why part 2 is behind a paywall, because that alone's going to have some very dumb context for everything when I lay out the point. But let's go.
People eventually become evil and corrupt, resulting in the tree weakening and seeking help from Sailor Moon.
That's not what happened. That is not what happened. The beings regarding the tree sought out Mamoru and sought him out as a child shortly after the accident that
He was
gave
lonely.
him.
He needed a friend.
Yes.
In case you're wondering, Sailor Moon R, the movie Promise of the Rose. The one time that Ikuhara actually wrote Mamoru right. But then again, I think it was probably thanks to Naoko that he was forced to write him well.
I've heard about that. It was said that she was at least metaphorically standing over him with a cast iron skillet. As in, she actually had one imported from the West somewhere and requested it be tested against melons.
Allegedly.
No, from what I heard, she actually did order a skillet as a half gag and a warning of "don't make me." I don't know if she actually physically was standing over them. I wouldn't be surprised if she did it and occasionally just tested her swing on the melons with them watching.
Because it sounded fancy. That's what people do.
No, allegedly is because I can't prove it. I don't know for certain. This has been talk and rumor, but from what I understand, she did at least do that once, despite not being the homemaker type, because she wanted to prove a point of, I am not going to tolerate that. So, yeah, enjoy that thought process, by the way, because that's a lovely scene. I imagine if she ever thought it worth her time, she'd look at these guys with the same kind of contempt.
To regain power and be reborn.
Mm-hmm.
Are we done soon?
Yes.
Man, how twisted is that? God created humans. John 1:3 says, all things were made through him, and without him, nothing was made that was made. So if the tree created the humans, this is a blasphemy.
It doesn't say they created humans. They're talking about alien life forms on another planet. It's not blasphemous, you outright lying villains.
This depiction of the true God, making it seem as he can be weakened by his own creation, and then he needs to seek help from the pagan witches.
Usagi and the Sailor Guardians are not pagan witches!
Just doing a very bad divestment.
This is... did they pull something reaching this hard? Because I think they pulled every muscle they have and every joint just got dislocated at once, including their entire spinal column.
Agreed, like, really.
I currently have a bit of a dislocation around my neck and my spine, and I don't feel like I pulled anything near as much as they just did with that one reach of that one sentence right there.
May I have a moment to stand on my soapbox real quick?
All yours.
Okay, don't hurt yourself. Don't fall down.
My old man hated anime. Absolutely hated it. Especially since he couldn't understand it, and what he didn't understand, he destroyed or burned. So, and he pretty much used almost every excuse in the book to make it so that I could not have access to Sailor Moon because it was fantasy garbage or sailor trash.
Really sad.
So, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that if these individuals were willingly spreading this kind of level of false information and outright lies, my father would have eaten it up and used it as an excuse to destroy everything that I had and I loved. Was I obsessed at the time because of the fact that I was trying to mentally escape from him and I overindulged because I was just so desperate to get out of reality that I went so deep into my own head to run away from him? Yes. Was that a problem? Oh, hell yes. But the level of which he tortured and tormented me mentally and emotionally was above and beyond what was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I chose to go, I wanted to put these individuals on our list to call out, is that they're reminding me of him, especially in their outright contempt and lies. Just like you called him before, these individuals are willful, ignorant, and outright malicious fools.
Yep. Lying fools at that.
Lying fools.
Again, to emphasize the point, these are the kind of people I wouldn't trust us to even attempt to lead a Bible study or be involved in the discussion. I would expect lukewarm retard takes, and I would expect people I know who know theology to proceed to rip the... Let me put it this way. If I put any of these guys in the Truth Cartel Discord server that I'm in, and the guy who runs it, Mahler, would rip these morons apart on their lack of proper scripture usage.
And probably ban them from the server.
Oh, I imagine he would clown on them and proceed to outright just make a statement that they were getting banned individually. Because, good Lord, mind you, that would also require them to outright just not be honest about their takes. Which, at that point, congratulations, you've become content when you do that. They are these guys are the kind of disingenuous goofballs that I wouldn't be surprised if they realized how bad they knew scripture and they didn't wait for him to boot. They fled. Because I've seen some people do that in his server, and it becomes the biggest clown show on the planet. It is... These guys clearly barely know what they're doing when it comes to trying to be honest, and they prefer to lie.
In order to survive.
You know, another anime that sugarcoats...
Okay, we're done.
Hold on, we're here.
You're not kidding.
Right, and listen to what
VHS tapes or downloading low-quality fan subs online. But now, anime was being broadcast.
Wait, I'm trying to find. Where is that? Where's that thing? Where's that bit?
What bit?
Oh, here we go.
Their explanation for why they put.
Hey guys, we hope that you're liking this documentary that we've made. Took us about a
You're
year
not
to make
liking
it.
it.
There was a lot of effort.
They spent an entire year making this dang thing, and they couldn't be arsed to do research. And given these goofball clips, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't even do most of it editing.
That went into this, so I hope you're definitely getting a blessing out of this.
He has a bear
and we
shirt
wanted to
on.
put this part up so that you guys would get a little taste of
If it's a taste, then I'm spitting it out.
Okay, I'm gonna go back over to
That
here.
guy's shirt looked like a skull, and they had.
I'm gonna click on the video section and show everyone how blatantly. Oh, by the way, look at the sheer amount of times you see them just blatantly pull that weird editing on like stuff like The Last of Us. Not The Last was like
They have an interesting color palette.
no,
of
like The
bad
Chosen and on
thumbnails.
other things and just other stupid things they're doing. So, by the way, yes, attacking the Hollow app as if it's based in Freemasonry. Attacking Transformers 1 because they can't be arsed to recognize a good Christian message and something that's not blatantly the Bible, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't remember it. And the whole Pokemon.
Cocomelon.
Yeah, Cocomelon, that, other things.
Barbie, other things. What was the point? We were just going to look at a video and then we just...
No. This is my point. Here's part
the
3
thumbnails.
of their entire thing. Part 4 is somewhere else.
Go down, go back up, back up, back up. That Narnia video and Lord of the Rings video, they actually took a segment out of it because someone called them out for their lies.
Mm-hmm.
Was it you?
Instead of owning up and apologizing for the fact that they were misinformed, they just swept that little tidbit under the rug.
Yep. Trying to find where else is the other anime bits, because the thing is, I can only find.
Why don't you search it up on the... There's a search bar, magnifying glass. You could type in
No.
anything.
The thing is, every time I do that, it doesn't seem to work right. Hang on.
Really?
Yeah. Now, the thing is, originally, that part 3 was down here.
And then it got removed.
Where is it?
Typed it in.
Back up. Back up. There's the first one.
By the way, part 3 and 4 were over here initially. They were both on here. And now, one thing I notice, I scroll up, part 3 has seemed to have been bumped up a good bit. Where was that again? Did I pass it?
Bumped up from reviews?
I think it was around the top.
Yeah, that's a telling thing because it says they had to edit it. No, there's part 3. And their initial bit of me pointing out is they're making this claim that they only put part 1 up the paywall everything.
Actually, what the whole documentary is about. It's a 4-part series. It's about 3 hours plus worth of material, and we've tried to put little parts and bits on YouTube, and it actually keeps getting taken down.
That's right.
Gee, I want
Yeah, gee, it's like it's Japanese media, and Japanese doesn't have the same fair use laws the U.S. does. I say that because their next point's going to blatantly destroy their credibility on
We
this.
actually did a live about this because we wanted to show you guys what all was in this. And there was one clip, it was maybe about 2 minutes long from Full
2 minutes from Full Metal Alchemist. Diva, remind me, what's the clip limit when it comes to counting for transform that you can use without talking over it?
Last I checked, about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Or at the very... I actually had a video up that was like 19 minutes long, and the only part of the video that got copyright strike was actually a 2-second clip. Was actually a 2-minute clip.
Yeah, that's not uncommon to do. At the same bit, when it comes to things like this, you have to be very careful because Japan is very much censorious and is compared to American standards.
Metal Alchemist that we got from YouTube.
By the way, they point out they got this from YouTube.
But YouTube copyright struck it, took it down. Usually.
By the way, video no longer available due to a copyright claim by Sony Music Entertainment
of
Japan. Gee. Considering the amount of music that plays in that scene of Full Metal Alchemist, or at least one of the scenes probably, I wonder why it got copyright claimed. Could it be because it's from Japan?
They had a Sailor Moon Eternal movie on YouTube at one point, and then it got taken down afterwards. It got leaked.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised
I watched it on there.
I'm not surprised that happens. But anyway, my point being, they're blatantly framing this in a way that is, again, like I said, lying.
Usually we can fight copyrights because of fair use. That fair
Japanese law versus American law.
And Japanese law is, when it comes to criminal cases, is framed as guilty until proven innocent.
Oh, and
use law is written.
Also, if you commit a crime, if you are just so happen to be around somewhere that you've committed a crime and you're a gaijin, better to just admit that you were the one that did it instead of the Japanese citizen, because they're going after you.
Yeah.
Gaijin?
Gaijin, meaning Westerner or foreigner.
Foreigner.
Yeah.
Oh, I think of a guy, but I don't want to bring it up, though.
Okay. Let me finish this bit, and then we're going to go clip to the end where they blatantly tell on themselves to that racist taco bit.
So that we can comment and react and things like that, but nope, they won't even allow it up. So if you're out there and you're saying, why don't you just put it up on YouTube, they won't let us. So
I'm
more like Entertainment Japan won't let you because they know you're full of garbage.
By the way, they blatantly alter and edit Dragon Ball Z clips after this bit. It's for the entire Dragon Ball Z section, even just before this bit, which blatantly says they knew how to get around this. They don't want to bother.
Or better yet, they're like, pay up.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they're going to show the price real soon.
Depending on you guys, we appreciate all your support. That we've put a year's worth of work into this 3-hour documentary in 4 parts. Covers a lot of anime, such as.
Well, we've got 7 Deadly Sins. We've got Death Note. We've got
Neon
Genesis.
The Ione is not the Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Man, there's a lot of
there's a lot of them.
Yu-Gi-Oh,
We basically wanted to pick the top ones that everybody was watching, and of course there's tons more, because as we've shown this to certain people, they've said, oh, well, what about this anime and this anime? So hopefully what you're getting out of this is the principle of the matter.
You should be seeing a pattern.
I'm seeing a pattern of you guys being lying, disingenuous tards. Is that the pattern you wanted people to see? Because that's what I see.
You know what's bad? The Kendrick brothers are actually more honest than you because they actually believe in their mission and don't have to lie. The only thing that they are guilty of is lazy storytelling.
Also, these guys both look like they're kind of nervous trying to talk about this because on some level, they know they're lying.
Well, actually, one of them looks like they ate Taco Bell and they have to go poop.
He deliberately can tell he's lying. This guy is deliberately just trying to keep the straight stone face so he can't give it off. He's very good at that. It's a very good poker face. But the problem is, if you have to break out a poker face to read lines, you know you're reading a complete load of horse hockey.
Yeah, if you see a pattern across the board of constantly attacking spiritual things.
I see you guys giving a pattern of constantly lying out of context in a way that dishonors God and would drive people away from the faith.
Twisting biblical concepts, then there must be a reason why they're doing this.
That's right. I just saw a comment today where somebody said, actually I haven't watched anime. Principle. There are links to the description if you want to buy this on DVD.
By the way,
$30.
You can put it on your bookshelf, or if you want
$30 for your price.
Also,
rental at inflation.
Oh, worse. Rent at $15. This is only the digital. Physical or digital owning is $30. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my response. You couldn't pay me $2,000 even with my massive debts to do that.
just the digital copy, we have both links. You can get digital.
By the way, I like how they label it as mature when I would just label this as comical. All right. Basically hilariously stupid. Okay, it should be. Yep, okay, it's right about here. We're cutting right to the end. By the way, yes, they do a triumphant ending theme music thing because these are guys clearly don't know how to be subtle. Here we go.
All right, you're just gonna say there's a party in every bag. You're a delivery guy, you're bringing tacos. There's a party in every bag.
All right. There's a party in every bag.
Yeah, a little more excitement though, and thicken your accent. There's a party in every bag. You know.
Did they get a Mexican guy to do the voice for the Mexican character?
I think he is Hispanic. That's the thing.
Oh, never mind. Now I sound them.
No, that happens. I've seen on YouTube an actual a Latina lady who's a natural ginger.
At the very least, would you put it past him to have a white guy just put on a thick racist accent?
Nope.
Oh man, that Patreon logo, I missed that one. Now it's just a line of
There's a party in every bag.
Just a little more excitement. Here, try the hat.
Hat?
The hat.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is blatantly racist right here.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can tell they're trying to play it off as it. By the way, watch this guy.
No.
It'll help you get in character.
Oh, come on.
It'll help you get in character. Okay, now.
There's a party in every bag.
Ugh.
Perfect. That's it, dude. That's it, bro. That's it. Yeah.
How is this funny?
It's not.
That was it's just like sarcastic laugh. It's not like a ha belly laugh.
By the way, look at this. We create media with media content that exposes darkness with the light of Christ. I'm sorry, what light? You're blatantly lying and misinforming. I don't think Jesus is anywhere near your stuff.
Nope. Reyes, would you like to tell the audience about how we found out about these individuals?
I think it's because you told me they were doing something about Dragon Ball. You know, I was a big Dragon Ball fan.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it. Like, I know it was something with a interest of mine.
That's right. Part 3 also has Shin Megami Tensei in it.
Yeah, because of course it does.
Because they have to do the lowest.
Shin Megami Tensei fans, we are.
And of
I
course,
I am.
And of course, they also were claiming that all comic book heroes were actually the devil in disguise.
They've literally claimed that about Superman. Actually, I think if I can get up to the shorts.
They even did that with Black Panther.
Yeah, of course, because they can't. Look, are there potentially parallels? Yes. Would I be surprised if that was someone intending to do that when they first made Superman and made his name the Hebrew word for voice of God? I would not be putting it past certain people in the entertainment and media industry of the West for a nanosecond. At that point, you blatantly... Oh, by the way, attacking Russell Brand, low-hanging fruit. Especially after he became a Christian. The more I see those attacks, the more I know I'm dealing with someone who's not paying attention to God most times. It's probably well down here. Oh, by the way, yes, they outright decided to pull some stupid comments about Pokemon also.
And apparently it as well.
Yeah, which I think is...
It was animated by a devout religious man, Philo Barnhart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually met him. He actually frequents a studio that I used to work at.
I'm trying to find it. Oh, Jesus.
I think we'll call it here tonight. Let's call it here tonight.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's over.
Lord,
we don't have to do it again.
I can't find the short. I think they got rid of it.
Maybe
Dear
it's
Lord.
just fine.
I mean, more sign of getting called.
Would you put it past them to have gotten rid of it because of backlash?
No.
Yes, backlash always gets the thing taken
I wouldn't put
down.
it. Oh, good Lord! Look at this. They have a donation and a Patreon thing, a merch shop. I wouldn't buy their stuff if you paid me.
International channel, Spanish channel, kids, and scripture song.
And Instagram, Facebook,
Instagram
and of course their website. They're using a .tv to make them seem more legitimate. And of course the podcast being on Spotify for them. People avoid... if you're on these social media, block these links, please. Block them. I'm going to leave them right here. Copy them, screenshot, block them if you can. And don't give these people any time or money. Just hide them from your feed. Because, trust me, as someone who's watched your stupidity, you will be saner. You will be much saner. Right. But I think that's all, and we went for over 3 hours talking about this idiocy, and I don't think we wanted to go that long.
Yeah, I could have been watching anime night. Now to move it to tomorrow.
Look at the bright side. You don't have to have this in the taste of your mouth as you watch anime tomorrow.
That's true.
Yeah.
It can be a nice palate cleanser, and it can also we won't be doing this. I think we called them out fairly enough. Would that be
their turn to call us out then?
Yeah, like if we're gonna do another one, I want to take a stab at their Yu-Gi-Oh nonsense because I grew up really liking that and being really, really good at the card game to the point I'm still good at it to a point. Just the more recent stuff made the game be insane, and I am not getting anything past Synchro if I want to try and learn it again. And even then, I for own personal spiritual reasons, I avoid it because it became like an idol to me at the time. So that's me. But given I know the anime well enough, I will want to tackle their nonsense and deliberately plan to... If we ever have to go at them again, I want to tackle that. That's my bit. But next time, I think we have something lighter to react to. As in something not stupid and blasphemous.
Like funny videos? Or maybe not.
I think we can find some things. I think...
yeah, we could.
Like, if you guys don't... You're saying?
Maybe like Fail Army and Daily Dose.
Or maybe as a possibility, we can watch... moments from the Geeked Up taken out of context to laugh at.
I mean, honestly, after that, we could actually do that. And the ironic bit is, we'd still have better context than they gave.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So since we have been going for forever and a half, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging with us for over 3 hours of having to go after this silliness.
And we made friends along the way of being tormented by bad comedy.
I mean, I wouldn't call this a bad comedy, but I would call it bad
comedy.
You know,
I just want to get word out there before the stream ends.
Fair enough.
Oh, Chelsea, one last thing before we go.
Yes.
Here's some extra throwing stars.
Yay! Throwing stars, babe, catch.
Also, here I have a flamethrower.
We're joking. We don't have that.
Yes, it's all joking. We're not gonna actually do like war crimes and stuff. Although with these people, I am very tempted. I won't, but I am very, very, very tempted. But again, unlike most people, including these guys, when it came to choosing whether or not to be manipulative and outright lie at times, I am willing to fight temptation and resist it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with that, I am servant. With me again is Reyes Khan, Diva, Night Rose, Goldsmith, and Chelsea Bunny.
Chelsea Bunny.
We are the Religious Nerd Squad. Thank you for putting up with us for this long. And I hope that this was a good time killer if you were busy. Or at least had an excuse to watch this with friends and see if we missed anything. Which again, if we did, feel free to point in the comments, like, subscribe, because remember, the algorithm requires you actually interact with this video a bit to get it spreading. So please do so and try and show it to some other people and share it around. Have a good night and God bless y'all.
Toodles. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Night-night.